What's the rest?
4, 44.
City, state, and zip.
It's 34444, 44, 4th Street, Fort Worth, Forthington, Falls, 44344.
Is this 4604 a prior address?
No. Yes?
You never lived at 4...
Hello?
Yes, you never lived at 4604 21st Ave?
I lived at 4444, 44, 4th Street, Fort Worth, in Forthington Falls.
But you never lived at 4604 21st Ave?
44, 46, 44, 44?
Okay, thank you.
Wait, no! You're my best friend. You're my best friend. What are you typing? I can hear you typing. What are you typing? Don't be typing my name. Ah, you're typing it. I can hear you typing. Don't you laugh at me. I hear you typing. Oh, sneaky. You got sneaky fingers, don't you? They probably call you sneaky fingers on the block. Are you sneaky fingers on the block?
Have a good one.
Oh, don't leave me, baby. Let me suck them titties.
I know.
Oh, let me suck them titties, baby. Come on. Give me them titties. Give me them big old titties. 444. 44.
Too far.
Today is a mediatic time with the Tom and Dan the podcast.
I don't think I can do that anymore. I just, mid-doing it, I became a better person. Look at that.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to Tom. Who's it brought to you by, Tom?
That's fine. There's still a market for it.
Well, there's a market for a lot of things. There's a market for human beings, Tom, but we're trying to stop that.
Listen, you're just doing the standard Irish, leprechaun voice.
Top of the morning to you.
AirQualityTestingOrlando.com. Now, here's the thing. We live in Florida. It's a swamp here. And there's most likely mold somewhere in your house.
Oh, yeah. There's no such thing as not having like a moist environment in a swamp, and that's what we are.
Yeah, and some mold is fine, and some is dangerous to you, and some can cause long-term health effects, asthma, general lung problems.
Yeah, that's basically my Army name. Because I have the worst allergies in any type of... and I'm allergic to mold.
Yeah.
I remember when I did my allergy testing about a year ago. One of the biggest things I'm allergic to, and it's not just one type. I mean, there's so many different types. That's why you want to get things tested.
When my sons were born, we redid their bedrooms, and I pulled off the baseboard, and there was black mold behind there. And my wife freaked out. She's like, we can't have this. And I spent like weeks cutting out the drywall. I had to go to the place, get the little mold test, send it in. And then my wife was like, you did it wrong. I don't trust it. And I was like, it's not the danger one. Why are you doing any of this? Go to our new sponsor, AirQualityTestingOrlando.com. They have state licensed mold assessors. They'll come to your house. They'll do air tests. They'll see if you find mold. They'll test it to see if it's a dangerous black mold.
Yeah, they do a visual inspection. They'll collect the swab, air samples. They get it tested in a laboratory. And then they're going to prepare because you might need remediation. And if you do, they got you covered because they know how to do that. It's exactly what they do. And, I know you did a good job on your room, but you could have saved yourself
a lot of work. I know, because maybe your homeowner's insurance can take care of it, because that's what your homeowner's insurance is for.
Right.
And this company will work with them if they find some mold and they have to cut out drywall, they have to fix some sort of water leak, or do all that stuff. So if you have mold in your house, or if you find mold, or if you're worried about mold, go to AirQualityTestingOrlando.com.
Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Episode number 544.
Hey!
What's going
We
on?
have a lot to celebrate today. Felicity Huffman just got released from 11 days in jail. Yeah! All right. She's just a child. Leave her alone. Welcome to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
I like your shirt. What's it say?
Sunshine and whiskey.
Boom. Nothing better. Seth Petrozelli on news. Hello, Seth.
My shirt says we are all scum.
All right.
That's nice.
Also accurate.
Yeah,
Don't embarrass me.
Bad mood, Seth.
Embarrassing. Thank you for embarrassing Tom in front of somebody we invited a couple of weeks ago to come in here and hang out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to get the curse today. He's going to throw around some F-bombs. Mr. Jim Phillips in the house.
How's it going, Jim?
Hey, good to see you guys again.
Travis Butler in here as well, ready to bumble.
He's on a strict diet today.
Yeah, he's on a strict diet today. Can I talk about that? His wife has him. Is doing a hormone test, Jim.
Oh yeah,
his wife is testing his hormones. So you're not allowed to drink and you're not allowed to eat coffee, chocolate.
No caffeine, so no chocolate.
Okay,
His cookies have been
well done.
lonely.
I hired Butler just to make my life seem better because he tells me the horrible things he has, and I love it every single time. Yeah. He's like, my wife's got me on a diet. I'm eating the cat food. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But does she know that his wife makes his lunch every single day, and it's like usually a bed of zucchini and then rice and then green beans and then like some and carrots.
She's a doctor.
She's a doctor.
She's healthy.
So does she know? Does your wife know that you shit punt her food into the trash here?
Rat him out.
Yeah, he does every single. She doesn't listen to this. She doesn't listen to this.
Sounds like my diet.
He buys cookies. And
he's on a diet for what?
I know. He looks great. He doesn't need to be on a diet.
What about 150?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah,
it's just health reasons. It's
a skinny fat.
And then he always complains about not having sex. You and Tom complain the most about not having sex. Me and Samantha, we got it dialed in. Seth, we know he's got it dialed in. I won't ask Mr. Phillips. That's
no, you get to my age. You don't care about that.
That's where I want to get, Jim.
It's really.
I want to get there. I
thought you wanted testosterone.
Yeah, but I want the testosterone and not care about that.
You just don't worry about it anymore.
So before we get started, because I got a lot to talk about.
We have a huge list of things to get to, but let's get the business out of the way.
Real quick, tonight at Porky's Barbecue, Tony Palmiotti's bringing a bunch of Tom and Dan stuff to give away. And if you want to just go to Porky's, have some delicious dinner tonight, head down there. Tony will be there at 7 o'clock with all the goodie bags and stuff. And also, we still have a promotion going on our website, tomandan.com. For every T-shirt you buy, you'll get a 32-ounce White Claw
broken
Tom and Dan broken cup. If it breaks, we'll send you another one.
Jim, we've been shipping these plastic cups to listeners that take advantage of the sale we're doing for all of our merchandise, but all the cups get shit smashed in the postal service, so everybody gets a broken cup. So then we have to send out more cups, but we send them out the same way we sent the other cups, so those get shit smashed too. We're not very bright. No idea. Not very bright.
Anyway, so there's that. If you would have told me 10 years ago, seriously, like we were doing this podcast 10 years ago, they're like, one day you will have Mr. Phillips as a guest on your show, and the guy that beat up Kimbo Slice, I would have been like, is it the end of the world?
Are we that different? Where it has to be like, am I that much of a scumbag?
No. Well, 10 years ago, you were super famous. Now, that's what I'm saying. And
well, so was I.
No. I'm just saying. It's just Jim is more impressive than anything.
Thanks a lot.
No, I'm saying it's like I wouldn't believe it 10 years ago.
At least he still looks good.
You look great.
You look good.
Your face feels amazing. I'm going to put that out there right now.
Okay,
facials.
What you guys
touch my face?
So
touch it. Can I touch your face?
Sure, of course.
Do the back of your finger. That's how you test.
Right here.
Oh my God!
How soft is that? It's like.
It's very soft. It's softer than my face.
Are you been getting
facials?
Facials, yeah. That's
my wife talked me into it.
Yeah,
it's great.
You do have a nice, young, healthy skin look.
It's glowing.
Yeah, and you don't drink, right? So, because that'll eat away your that'll eat away at your skin. I mean, that's what does it. When you can look at people and see whether they're a big drinker or not. Like if you look at Tom, I mean, sides of his nose look like a road map, greasy, big red nose.
Rosacea on his cheeks.
The big old cauliflower thing sitting.
Looks like W.C. Fields over there. My little check-a-day.
Giant.
Yeah.
Saggy
tiny
boobs.
dick, little bitty acorn dick.
Come on.
No memories.
So, Jim, I know...
Doesn't even know how to use it.
I knew that Seth was coming in, and we were going to have you in today, and I wanted to ask you, because you know a lot, Jim, and I really respect the amount of things that you know. You're well-read. You are a Renaissance man.
He does something you have been wanting to do. He dabbles in hobbies.
Yes.
You don't, and I know you want to.
Yes, and but also...
I thought you were cutting wood. I thought that was your big thing. You were going to saw some wood on a straight line. The last time we talked.
Remember? There's been some difficulties with that, Jim.
We talked about this
Holding
yesterday.
the saw.
He was using what saw were you using?
A jigsaw.
He was using a jigsaw to cut through cardboard for his wife. That's a true story.
It's more of an IKEA backing situation. Ruined it all.
Particle board.
Yeah. But not about me, but I wanted to talk to you. The gentleman to your left, Seth Petrozelli.
He's a very lonely man.
Yes, he's had some relationship issues in the past.
I'm having the best time right now. I don't know what you guys
well, I mean, I can see in your eyes that your mouth is saying best time, but in your eyes, worst.
I was hoping you'd read through that.
So no, I can tell you're sad.
No, I am not sad. I'm really
every night you post a picture on Instagram, it'll just be like him snuggling his little dog alone.
I like my dog.
No, but alone.
Yes.
You're a lonely
because
man.
I don't post pictures of girls that I'm hanging with on there ever.
It's illegal.
Because you'd have to blur their faces, and I'd have to Photoshop out the playground equipment.
Come on, don't put that on me.
Seth is older than I am, and not by much, but he prefers.
You see this? You smell a setup? I smell a setup.
No, he prefers to date girls in their young 20s, and that's what he likes. And
smart.
And now, God damn it, this didn't go the way.
He's on my side. Fuck you, buddy. This backfired on you tremendously, and I love it.
Hold on, but
Hold on a second. I have to recover from the high five of the fuck you, buddy.
I did not expect that.
That's the greatest thing. Jim just totally nonchalant. Like, sorry, man.
You know what? It is better. God, I got
tears in my eyes.
Live with this old bag. Yelling at me all the time. No, but Jim, I tell Seth all the time, like, I think that his mentality is wrong as far as like you want to date these younger women, and I really think you should focus towards women that are your age or maybe an older. Here's the thing: if you want some happiness,
why? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Jim, because the young girls like Seth.
I've been married 3 times, and I've had a bunch of relationships, and each one. My partner or my wife gets younger and younger and younger.
Now, you knew I knew that, right?
The key to a happy partnership or a key to a happy marriage for a man is to be with a woman or your partner who's at least 20 years younger.
Wow.
My wife, Catherine, is 20 years younger than I am. And it's a perfect partnership. Yeah. It's great.
Well, 20 years younger than 17.
Hold on a second. Is this where I point at you and go, fuck you, buddy?
If we're all of a sudden we're talking about a girl 8 years old, I don't know how old.
19. Yeah. So he's about to be 40. So,
So you sit around, you can talk about Tiger Beat magazine.
No, we have some. The girl that I'm dating now is 22, and we have similar interests.
Like what?
We we both like the gym.
Okay.
All right,
and that's it.
We both like to cook.
Okay, food.
Yes, food.
Now that's a big one. The kitchen,
the kitchen
cooking. Yeah,
kitchen.
I can see.
All right, that's 2 minutes.
Then it's hardcore.
Okay.
Then sex is fun. Yeah.
Okay, now this.
I like to look at her face.
What's that old line about the broccoli on your ear and so you look so sexy, you look so you're so beautiful with the sexy broccoli on your ear, cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love you. And then after you're together for a while, it's like, what the fuck? You know, get the broccoli off of your ear. It's like, come on, it's disgusting.
Jimmy can't get that broccoli out of his ear.
There's ours here,
When you're first together, everything is beautiful and sexy and is wonderful. Oh my God! You got a cherry tomato in your hair. Oh, I love you. I love the look. It turns me on. Then you know you're together for
it wears out.
3 months, 6. Yeah, you wear out. You get that. You know what?
That's my problem. It wears out on me within a week.
Really? Does it really?
That's my
Does it
That's
really?
been my issue the past almost 3 years now. Yeah, just like
How quickly does the relationship gas out?
I gas her out at about maybe like a few weeks, maybe 3, maybe a month.
Who's
that a relationship?
Who's getting
That's not a
gassed out here? Is she?
No, I do.
Enough
I do.
of you, or you say enough of her?
I get. I'm very picky.
He's very picky.
I mean, does something happen?
I'm bad because you know what I am.
So get the broccoli in the ear or something.
I'm going to cut to the chase, Jim. I'm just going to cut to the chase. You know what the problem is? He likes to eat their butts.
No, come on. Don't say that in front of Jim. No, come on.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
I was going to bring that up because it's embarrassing.
Only on this show. I couldn't say that on ACT when Jim was here, but Jim's here today, and I think it's important to share.
You don't want to hear about that.
Look, they were doing it when he was in his heyday. I'm sure.
I don't think they were doing it back in the day. I think that's a new young girl. I don't think
that is not a new thing.
Yeah. I didn't do that
Jim,
in the 70s.
That was against the law at that time.
That was literally written.
And you guys blow that way.
And my parents raised a good boy.
Non-butt eating son.
It's one of the things that my parents passed down to me. Jim, do not do that.
Can you imagine this guy, though? You're dating.
I had a bad upbringing. My dad used to beat me. I went right to the butt because of that.
My dad used to beat me, and I don't eat butts. So I don't know.
Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They're embarrassing. I feel like...
what about child abuse?
No.
The butt.
I didn't want to get into that with Mr. Phillips here.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying it.
But that's the real problem. 3 days into the relationship, he wants to eat the butt.
He moves too quick,
No, I don't move quick at all. I move slow. That's the thing. I don't want to progress it to anything, a commitment. I don't want to make it Facebook official per se. You know, I don't want to I don't want to be exclusive with the person. I'm always just like, let's see how it goes, and I'm just like, whatever.
Jim,
are they doing something at the gym that turns you off? I mean, are they running on the treadmill fast here? I mean, do they do it fast here?
Competitiveness.
That's it.
Yeah. No. I'd rather.
That'll kill a relationship.
I'd like to find a girl that's really into the gym like that. That'll be like that. It's usually the opposite. Usually it's like
no. I mean, if you're running a 7-minute mile and she's doing 6:30, as long as she that's a killer for you.
No. As long as she tries and is fit, then I'm happy with it. But if she tries and is not fit, then I'm like trying to push them a little harder and be like, maybe try one more time at the gym.
Damn,
we go back.
Yeah,
to,
I know.
Man.
I know.
Yeah, that would be. I don't think I have the balls to do that. Like, I don't even do that with my wife, and she's like working out really hard, and she's lost weight.
Well, that's awesome.
And she looks great, but I don't like. You got to tread lightly on that. Even with compliments, you got to be like looking great. Like keep it up, but you can't. You can't be like way better than before. Like you got to.
There's a middle ground. I get it.
Be careful,
but it's hard. It's hard to tread on that middle ground.
Jim, do you know about all the because I am fascinated by the dating apps and how basically everybody's hooking up off of dating apps, and that's how everybody dates nowadays. I have no idea about it because I've been with the same lady since I was in high school, so none of the modern dating trends. I have no idea.
You didn't know the dating trends back then either,
no, I
didn't. Be fair.
You're right. I never
didn't date anybody.
I didn't. But with the dating apps, I feel like it's easier for people to hook up.
Right.
Probably harder, though, to find some sort of relationship because with the app, you're looking at just someone's picture and like some bullshit, like description
profile,
about
just
them.
a little description.
I've talked to plenty of people who've done that. I mean, that's changed. I talked to one guy and had a date with a woman. She was 8 months pregnant when she showed up.
Oh, wow.
Or you talk to women, the guy shows up, he's got no teeth or something like that. Another was, and they're probably serial killers, all of them.
I
don't get.
Yeah.
That's what Sam said.
No, I mean,
Jim, you fit in really nicely here.
Well, the trick is not to meet him the first time. You always meet him at a neutral place, like
public
place.
Yeah.
I never, ever, hey, come to my place and I'll drive you somewhere. I'm like, oh no, we meet here at first. I'm not picking you up. I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting in the same car with you alone. We meet at one place.
What are you afraid of?
Because I don't know how it is. All
He's
one
got
girl has to
arms the
say
size of a
is that
fucking tree trunk.
Exactly.
I'm not going to get in the car with her. She's 110 pounds. I mean, what the?
It's because what she could say. She could say she got in my car and then I tried to like touch her
Eat her
and do
butt.
Oh, you're more worried about accusations.
I'm petrified of that. Just falsely being accused of some stupid thing. Hence my cameras.
Well, what difference does it make
He
whether
runs cameras, too.
you get in the car or after 3 dates you're at your apartment or
Right.
whatever? The accusation can still
He's got
be made.
cameras all over
I
his
got
apartment.
You got cameras?
Yeah. He films himself.
That's how paranoid he is.
You are fucked up. You really are.
Maybe that's a problem.
You're genuinely fucked up.
Oh, damn.
He films the eating the butt.
Yeah. No, he's got a
You look great, but you are fucked up.
This is what what happens is it films, it deletes itself after 24 hours, but I make sure that after the coitus happens, we text the next day. I'm like, oh, that was fun. Was it fun?
Did he say coitus?
coitus?
Coitus, coitus.
Whatever it is.
I can't breathe.
I make sure we text and be like, oh, everything was okay. At the next day, then it's okay.
For like text record.
For text record proof. Exactly.
There's no way to live. I feel like
No, it's fucking horrible. That's why he's kind of halfway right when he says I'm miserable sometimes. Because it's not fun.
But no,
It's a full-time
Do
job.
other people do this?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I do because I'm just weird about it.
Oh my god, I have tears in my eyes.
Well, so what about this? So Jim brought up a good point as far as like you really, because you work out so much and that's basically it. You have to work out. Oh no, come on. I mean,
I have a lot more to me.
Yeah, you do.
I have lots to me.
Me have lots.
of
I picked things up and put them down.
with your gym and stuff. I mean,
Me like shows, me like books,
You like
me multifaceted.
so
my best friend Rocky Dog.
maybe you get an interesting hobby. Now, I'm not sure if any young 22-year-olds into whip making or
What making?
Crow calls, like so he's got a crow
Those are
call.
Jim's
there.
hobbies.
But it's an interesting thing. Like maybe you get an interesting hobby.
Karate's my hobby.
Chicks,
22-year-olds don't give a shit about karate.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I was trying to defend it.
I mean, I want to respect karate, but
I know it's hard to like get a girl to be like, oh wow, he does karate. Of course.
My 5-year-old nephew does karate.
I know. It's
He does it in a strip mall. He's really good. He
You're
just
right.
got his
And I like
blue belt.
posting pictures of me hitting bags like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and MMA more than karate.
You're right. Karate's for like 6 to 11-year-olds, and then like 48 plus.
That's why I'm doing adult-only karate.
Case in point,
It's all 40-year-olds and above.
Case in point, when you ask Tom's 5-year-old, son, Tommy, what he wants to be when he grows up, he replies,
Yeah, a karate man.
A karate man.
Yeah. And so, that's what kids want to be.
I'm his hero because I actually became a karate man. I'm the one person whose profession is karate man.
I don't know if I'd say Seth Petrozelli karate man.
No?
do you have a card that says that?
I'd be like gym owner, podcast news guy. Once everyone.
It's douche news, butt eating karate man.
Well, speaking of news,
Dude, you shave your legs?
get him, Jim.
Dude.
Look, I mean, I used to. I went to triathlons and I used to shave my
I
legs.
trim
I was just wondering.
I won them because when we roll on the mats in jiu-jitsu...
Gotcha.
I hate the hair getting all over the mats.
All right, just wondering.
That so I can show off my sexy calf.
It's for nefarious reasons. Roll around on a mat.
It's so when she goes home, she's not covered with any speck of DNA. It's for some crazy reason.
So
you want to do news?
Yeah, Seth. Let's do some news now.
I'm sure Jim will want to weigh in on Seth's news story.
Yeah. I do feel a little embarrassed, Jim being here, and
I got good ones today for him.
I feel like I assume that in Jim's career,
Jim's seen more than we have.
Yes, but I assume
so you can't throw anything at him where he's going to be embarrassed.
But when he saw
you can.
like a new generation of broadcasters, and I'm sure Jim said at one point like this is the end, this is the demise of broadcasting, and the professionality of it, this is what he meant by it. Like, this is exactly like
today we are taking Jim to the edge.
Yeah. And just be careful. He laughs at super.
No, I intentionally put a non-laughing news thing. Well, there's one that I might snicker at.
What are you going to do here? Are you going to read a headline? Are you going to tell a story?
He will. He's got.
I have my own way.
He has his method.
He handwrites it too.
Handwrite it.
Yeah.
Well, lately I've been doing notes, and then I have stuff on my phone.
Okay, well, here we go. Here's your intro.
You want me?
Okay, cool. Intro.
99 MRIs trying to prove he's gonna die. The CTE is kicking in with every new hit at the gym. He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back. And we all forgot about that fight. Just more proof alone you're gonna die. From fighting in the UFC to reading news to you and me, you could say he wears a lot of hats, but we'll just focus on his eyes. So hippo people, get on your hooves and put them together for you know who. As if you narps don't have a clue. It's Seth Petrozelli with your Douchebro news. It's Seth Petrozelli with your Douchebro news.
All right, news today brought to you
There you go.
by At Home Floor Store. Daniel redid his whole house with At Home Floor Store.
I did.
And if you want to save some money, because they do not have a brick and mortar establishment, which saves you money because they could pass that savings along to you, just call them. They'll come to your house. They'll show you all the samples. They'll leave samples with you if you want. Carpet, all the luxury vinyl plank, tile, anything, any flooring they could do. And they'll definitely beat any price. I know that Francis, my neighbors, used them to do his whole house, and he shopped it out. Seth used At Home Floor Store. Daniel did his whole house.
I did every floor in my home with that Shaw luxury vinyl planking. And then we also got that really nice carpet.
I've used them.
I got the nice carpet too.
And I'm about to do my whole house with At Home Floor Store.
Nice.
It's
coming up soon. So
very cool.
AtHomeFloorStore.com. All right, Seth, what's your first story?
All right, first story. I'm nervous now because he's there.
I know. I thought you guys made friends.
No. Well, it's the first one is a little risque, isn't it? All right, Miley Cyrus tests Instagram's community guidelines with a selfie exposing her nipples.
I saw that.
Oh, right. I saw it too.
Is that a question or is it? I don't know.
So
yeah, people have been doing that lately. Like some of the people, like this whole free the nipple thing is like really huge. So on Instagram, like when I've gone through this past week, I noticed that a lot of people were testing the guidelines. It seems to be like a thing.
Yeah, she tested Instagram's commonly used guidelines this past Tuesday by posting a series of selfies in which her nipples were exposed. The 26-year-old is seen rocking a sheer white tank top paired with a denim cutoff style shorts. She then seemingly acknowledged that she was pushing the guidelines when she posted, P.S. This is getting removed soon. I've been warned by the Gram gods.
All right.
But the thing is, per Instagram guidelines, they don't allow nudity on the platform, which includes photos of females' nipples, but it does allow pics of post-mastectomy surgery and women actively breastfeeding. That's allowed.
So you can show a nipple if it's breastfeeding.
As long as it's not sexual, I guess.
Okay.
But don't some guys sexualize, like if the nipple's out getting sucked on by a baby? Isn't some guy still looking at a nipple?
Somebody.
Well, are you asking for a friend? Is that what you're...
Jim, what do you think about...
Jim's stunned at Seth's reaction.
Do you want to see the picture, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
Oh, Miley Cyrus is hot.
Don't put it on the camera.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I think Miley Cyrus is gorgeous.
She has shown her nipples, and she's been nude on the internet lots of times. Now, Jim, I know that in what is it, Colorado, Washington, Portland,
certain areas,
Oregon,
more progressive areas.
They changed the law where women now can be topless in public and not be. This happened like a month ago or whatever.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
relatively
Denver
new legislation.
Yeah, and the whole, I guess, argument being that, hey, if men can be topless, we have the same anatomy, basically. We have breasts, but some men have breasts. I used to have bigger breasts than I did, a year ago. And
I'm getting a reduction.
If I smushed them together, I mean, it would be hard to tell between me and a woman.
I can tell. Yours are too hairy.
Well,
the only hair he has are on his nipples. It's weird. It's off-putting. It's like 2 rhino cones.
So,
like, it comes to a point.
It will be in the future. This whole women showing their breasts will be it makes sense that we'll probably migrate same way that Europe has, right? With having topless women,
topless beaches and stuff, like more of them,
or on TV in Europe.
But that hasn't changed. Nobody's running around Paris and London and Venice topless. It's not.
Just true, but they have it on TV. When I was in Europe, they had topless women on TV, and it was during the day.
Is that still the American Gladiators you watched?
I have no idea what that was.
He watched some topless American Gladiators that he won't stop talking about.
That's a thing?
Oh, and when I went to
it was in Germany.
Germany or something like that. Yeah, it was during the day.
German gladiators?
I don't know if I want to see some big German.
Yeah, it would be, but I think it's still under the brand.
Germans have a thing about nudity. I mean, they've had nudist beaches and nudist resorts for generations.
Really?
They're really, especially East Germans. Back when it was divided, East Germans love the nudity thing. I'm not sure why or where it came from.
I thought he said the duty thing.
Jim, have you ever been?
They like that
Sometimes
too.
they like that too, yeah.
Have you ever been to a nudist resort?
Just the beaches.
Yeah, the nude beaches. Have you been nude at a nude beach?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. God,
It's great. Why you gotta make it weird? That's a personal question. Why are you embarrassing me in front of Jim? You ever been nude? You got any pictures of yourself, Jim?
I was just asking.
Can I see your dick,
But
Jim?
I mean, it is true. I mean, once you get acclimated to it, it's just no big deal.
Like
why would you be nervous?
Because I don't know. I want to make sure that it looks good the whole time.
But nobody's
paying any attention.
Yeah, bullshit. Well, really?
Nah, I don't think so.
I judge people looking at them. So why would they?
You're
you're
very judgy man.
If you went to the nude beach,
you look good. People would pay attention to you. I mean, but old farts like me, nobody's paying any attention.
Yeah, at the nude beaches, it does seem to be.
You only give attention to what needs attention.
Yeah. It's. I mean, the only experience I have with nude, the resorts or beaches was in the hedonism, and
that was a different animal. Have you ever been to any of those?
No
gross.
Interest.
It's gross, Jim. It's
no
disgusting.
interest.
They sent me to get margaritas one time, and there was a dick sucking contest going on at the bar.
Yeah, you got
it was
these
disgusting.
hot tubs. There's stew pools. I mean,
stew pool.
Things are growing. No, I have no interest in that whatsoever.
Me neither.
A lot of dudes that cuckold.
Here, have sex with my wife. I'm like, nah, I'm out. I'm good. I'm good.
So
what are you people doing? I mean, I don't get it.
When I was
won
nude,
that though.
No.
He wants to swing.
No, yeah?
No, well, not to swing. I like the lifestyle as far as, the getting together with your friends and all your friends, old ladies. Listen, I know some people. I like a dude sitting with a bunch of topless, his wife and a bunch of their wife's friends topless. It's like, that's a better life. Right? I mean, it's better than not being topless, right? If everybody's cool with it.
No wonder you're so cool.
Why are you screaming at us?
My God.
It's better, right? Is it better? You're like yelling at him. What's wrong with you, man?
So, did they take down Miley Cyrus's pic?
No, it's still. I screenshotted that yesterday. It's still up. It's been up for a week now. Almost a week now.
Well, maybe because she said this will be gone soon, they're like, no. Maybe
because it is technically covered. It's just see-through. You see them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's...
Is this a big controversy? Is this...
No, I don't think anything...
I got blocked from Instagram because of one of my posts.
Yeah, it's just...
Just because my hog was hanging out the side. Like, it wasn't hanging out.
What did he say? His what? What did he say? His hog?
Yeah.
Well, it was...
You got a big old thermos.
No. I took a picture and it was just showing, and I tried to promote it, and it wouldn't let me promote it because it was showing through my pants.
Is that why? The hog
There's
police?
no other reason why.
The hog
police. Some guy in India was like, no, you can't have that.
Why does he sound Italian?
What if you had
you got to have a big hog.
That's where they,
what if it's just a
call
growth
centers.
on your leg or something? You know, like it could have been
a goiter.
It's the hemorrhoids coming up
crotch goiter.
You got you got elephantitis down there.
I don't know. It got denied.
He's very blessed, Jim. He is, and he shows it off a lot.
Not on purpose. And
it is on purpose because you can see the veins.
You send me
in
texts,
man.
and you're like,
"That's
look
just
at
for
this.
you."
Wow. Okay.
Why do I feel like
what's
Jim will
average?
Never come
I don't know.
back?
I don't need to see anything, but what's average? I don't know what average is.
It's like this the mic he's talking into. It's like that.
Because I'm below average.
No.
I mean, but it's never bothered me as long as things are working. You know,
exactly. Yeah,
no. I'm joking.
You got some prostate problems, don't you?
No, none.
And you got
remember
big.
I had those.
He's got long hemorrhoids, long ones.
No, I don't have it
because of the fighting and the straining of the lifting. It's long. It looks like a ponytail.
Looks like a wizard sleeve.
Yeah. No, it's just they're big and they're purple. It looks like you got a jellyfish.
That's not purple at all.
Looks like you got a Portuguese man of war hanging out of your
It's
ass.
skin tone. There you go. That's a better.
Are you showing these things off? I mean,
no, the hemorrhoids. I just know we've talked about it.
We've talked about it. We were hemorrhoid brothers.
And this guy had a fissure.
What?
Stop talking
This
about
guy
it.
had a fissure.
What is that?
Why are you saying
It's called a fissure, not a fissure.
A fissure. He had a fissure.
No,
and
come
he had
on.
to give it to-
It's a tear in your butthole.
Come on. Why can't we be
This
serious?
was your idea, Tom.
I'm afraid to ask, how did that happen?
Tom got
bad
his from
living.
pain
I can see him just being
addiction.
so stressed.
I think it's because he wipes so hard when he stands.
No,
it gets
come
crumbles
on.
everywhere.
Come on.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Jim, I'm
He
sorry.
wipes so hard
Don't
the back
talk
of the
about it.
toilet seat gets crumbles
No,
on it. Sometimes I got to broom off the
He
toilet seat.
paper cuts his ass.
Paper cut your ass.
Stop.
Yeah, paper cuts.
It's too much.
You got to get the bidet.
Why is it too much? We're all just humans here.
I know, but we don't have to
Fun
talk
Friday.
about it. Jim doesn't want to hear about this. Go next story, Seth.
The next story. All right. JetBlue is testing a new checked carry-on bag fee at the
Checked
Orlando
bag?
Airport. Checked bag. Listen to this. If you've flown with carry-on bags any time in the past few years, you've likely encountered two things: an airline asking passengers to gate check their bags, completely full overhead bins by the time you board. More passengers tend to bring their luggage on board since most airlines have eliminated completely checked baggage, the free, checked baggage thing everyone does. JetBlue is testing giving customers the option to accept carry-on size bags weighing a maximum of 25 pounds at the check-in counter as checked luggage for only $5 rather than the full price. So instead of taking time to take your carry-on through like the security, which takes time, everyone sits there and waits for you to empty it and all that crap, instead of like $35 check fee, it's just $5 and it goes underneath instead. So it's basically just a cheaper checked bag.
Yeah. So you don't have to bother with bringing your bag through all the security.
And stuff like that. And it's split 50-50. I read the reactions, and people are like, the whole point of bringing a checked bag is to make it so much faster where I can just grab and get off the plane, not wait for my baggage
Well,
to come
I
back
like it. Normally, I like it because I have like my Xanax in there if I need it, or a magazine, or my
Stuff that you
laptop,
can't
or
burn.
So like for me, I've got stuff that I think I need. Like something. I don't know, something in their headphones.
I feel like all airline travel has basically been ruined, right?
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic pain in the ass.
And no one cares about like even dressing decently anymore. Like just wear what you'd wear to just Applebee's, for God's sake.
People go in their pajamas.
I know.
They do.
Yeah. Pajamas, there's pajama sandals,
Flip-flops,
slides.
Where do you guys stand on? And I'm asking, so I'm not saying I'm for this, but where do you guys stand on if I'm taking like a flight to Australia and it's long? Can I get away with wearing something a little more
I don't care
comfortable
what you
because
wear.
I'm probably going to sleep?
Yeah.
You're
not wearing your onesie or your pajamas for crying out loud.
But like jeans,
sweat.
Can I? Because I remember
like
one time
sweatpants or something.
Would sweatpants
I've been on
work?
planes where people take their shoes off, their socks off. They're walking into the restroom with nothing.
Have you ever been next to a guy with shit on his shoes?
That's Seth.
So, but there was a time,
he
Jim.
shit his shoes.
I'm total accident. The only time I was embarrassed ever in life was that day.
When did that get ruined, Jim? Do you think? Like what decade? Was it like in the 2000s, the 90s?
I'm going to take that. I'm going to put that on Gen X, my guys. I think we did it.
Yeah. Was it?
I don't think
it was when
boomers.
deregulation came along. It was just cheaper to fly, and you get and then you get near to wells who are flying. They don't know any better. They used to take the fucking bus, and now they're on planes. They don't know it. They just don't know any better.
Is there airlines that are more expensive? That
you're probably better off taking a bus now than a plane. You probably you get on the bus and people are getting on board in tuxedos and 3-piece suits and looking real sharp.
Jim, did you ever take the Concorde? Did we talk to you about that? No. Okay, but you, I feel like that was the last bastion of.
Probably 8 hours, 9-10 hours.
Like that's a long flight.
Like across the pond, right? Like over to Europe or something.
Yeah, but I mean, even first class now is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no one knows.
Because what they do is they bump. What's happening, not to be too elitist, but I am elitist. What happens is they bump, there is a reason they have a curtain, is to separate first class from those fuckers in the back with their kids, and and so what they do is they bump them up. Well, I got 80,000 sky miles or some shit, so they come up to first class. And they're big pains in the ass. They don't know how to behave. They bring their kids up there. They're crawling all over the place. They're taking their shoes and socks off. Yeah, it's there's a reason they call it first class.
Yeah. I like that. And like I feel like the Concorde was like the last plane travel experience that was like hey, do you want to pay an insane amount of money and you'll get this like ridiculous experience of
somebody's
like
actually interested in bringing that back.
I hope so.
There was a news article a couple of weeks ago where they're going to try
you can fly from New York to London in 3.5 hours. It's just when they land, 5,000 homes, the windows break because of all the noise.
But they're not first class.
Qantas. Is it Qantas?
If your house is directly located over a landing zone, then you
Qantas they're going one step further. This came out 2 days ago. My wife was talking to me about it. If you were going to Australia, it's like a 16-hour flight or something ridiculous. It's insane.
It's 22.
But but they have a nonstop. So they have a 22-hour nonstop flight. Qantas does. But what they did is they took out a bunch of seats and they made an area that has a gym. So now the plane has a gymnasium where you can work out. They also have, on the opposite side of the gym, they have an area for like a nursery. For mothers that are breastfeeding, kids that want to run around and play, so that way that you don't get the screaming kid. The kid's screaming, you take them back to the nursery. It's supposed to be like a it's like a
giant Airbus,
like a soundproof type deal, and you go in there and the kid can be a kid without bothering everybody else. But they're having to. The problem is that they're having to pull so many seats out that the price will probably go up because there's less people that can be on the flight.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I think so too. You get a gym and you get a nursery. I feel like it's better for everybody. Kids are going to be happier. Parents are going to be happier. People that don't have kids and hate kids are going to be happier. And then gym rats like Seth are going to be super happy.
I'll still be an anxiety-ridden crazy guy on the plane.
But you would be better if you were able to get the
if I was able to
anxiety out.
Stand up and do something.
Yeah, do some cardio, or run on a treadmill,
punch something.
Yeah,
you don't like flying?
I hate flying.
Scared?
Scared to death.
Yeah.
Worse than me.
Taking off or landing? Or just flying in general?
No, landing I'm good with because I know I'm getting somewhere where it's done.
Oh, not if the landing gear's not down. Then you're going to wind over end, and then you're a flame ball.
Takeoff is the worst. Takeoff is the worst.
Sucks.
Because if you're going up and the engine stops, you're just going to drop like a damn rock. If you're coming in for a landing and the engines go, at least you got a little bit of glide down to that runway. Taking off, though, that's what drives me crazy.
And then
especially when the doors close, the wheels come up, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Everybody does it too. Everybody says, "What was that noise?"
You've seen me do that.
Have you ever been on a bad plane flight, Jim?
Yeah.
I've
been on a bunch of them,
and to where you thought, and people were screaming. Like I've never been on a plane flight where it got that bad.
If you're on a flight with me, you're on a plane where it's someone screaming. Literally every flight, no matter what, a bump, and I'll go and I'll hit somebody. Or
Why do you scream like?
I don't know. I'll just jump and get scared.
When your bad plane flight, was it just turbulence, like horrible? Or is that
it's just bad pilots, I think. It was just they weren't, flying into the Virgin Islands. if you don't do it right, you're just going to go straight into a mountain. I mean, so they do that. They do certain things. You're going. I know just enough about flying to say this is not right. This is not correct. Something's wrong here.
Yeah. It's always
other people.
Yeah, you're right. You have the knowledge because you got your pilot's license. No, but you trained.
Yeah, I couldn't land.
Oh, is that the?
I was scared to death of landing. I take off, fine. Fly it around, fine. But when I came in for landing, and I did gliders, and I did the propeller thing,
that's awesome.
I just could not. I'd come in for a landing, and about 10 feet off the ground, I'd be like, because I thought it pancake it. I thought
right. Yeah.
So you wouldn't commit to going all the way down, and because you're afraid of smacking.
I flew the runway at Orlando Executive Airport, the whole runway 10 feet off the ground. I couldn't put it down.
What's your instructor saying?
He said, "Okay, here we go again." And I finally said, "I can't do this. I'm not wired for this. I'm just, it's not. I'm not good at this." And he said, "Come on, let's try it again." I said, "No. And too many dials and switches and shit that you have to pay attention to, and I'm not good with that."
Yeah. I couldn't trust
it's good
myself.
that you realized that and didn't do it.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. Sure.
All right, what's the next story?
Yeah.
You need your glasses, Grandpa? You all right?
Together.
Hang on. Heat camera at a tourist attraction spots a woman's breast cancer. This is actually pretty cool. A trip to a tourist attraction in Scotland turned out to be a life-changing moment for one woman after a thermal camera detected she had breast cancer.
Wow.
Bale Gill, which is a weird name for a woman, 41, was looking back over her images from her trip to Camera Obscura and World of Illusions in Edinburgh when she noticed a heat patch over her breast. After making an appointment with her doctor, Gill was diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer. But experts have warned Gill she was lucky and thermal imaging cameras are not effective in screening for the disease, but it actually picked it up in this instance.
Really?
That's crazy. So, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that.
There's a picture
cancer
of her.
Gave off heat,
and you see it. Everything's green and blue, and then one spot on her breast assist is yellow and white. It's
like it was a different,
like it's a different color. Yeah,
temperature
to her breast. Yeah.
Yeah, weird. I never even heard of that. Like that's some sort of tumor.
I didn't think cancer. Because I think I have tumors at all times because of my hypochondria. You probably do too. I don't know.
I do.
Do you deal with any of that, Jim?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why you guys there's a little bit of some kindredness.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it's stewing in there. There's something stewing in there.
I feel like there's cancer somewhere in here. There's free radicals, and they're just waiting to form.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you eat the wrong thing, and boom, it's just the trigger, and off it goes, and it's gigantic, whatever, carcinoma, something.
I've been telling Tom this for years. It's in here. I just don't. It hasn't. I've mooshed it yet.
Hold on, Jim. Do you deal with Seth and Daniel? We've talked about that a lot
Seth
on the show.
Might actually be worse than me.
They deal a lot with hypochondria.
I'm getting better lately, just because lately I'm just so tired of being tired of worrying about it. I'm just like
sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, I really am. Either that, or maybe just lately I haven't had anything physically go different. So
you look.
You know what they say?
You look a little yellow.
Well, it gets worse. It's going to get worse. I got news for you. As you get older, that's all you start thinking about.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck is that? You get a little pain in your stomach, and then it was bad zucchini or something. I mean, you
really don't like zucchini.
Oh, I can't stand it.
He said that earlier. He's like zucchini.
It's zucchini and what's the
squash?
Other one?
The yellow squash?
Not disgusting. It's disgusting. Stuff is disgusting.
Well,
it's slimy. Is it?
I like. But
you like it?
My great grandma used to make it for me with some marinara sauce and just like.
Is that the same one that would get mad that you shit in the pool?
She actually that's my great grandma. My grandma was the one that got mad at me for pooping in the pool.
Yeah,
my great grandma was the one scooping it out.
he has over 200 memories of shitting in his grandma's pool.
I have a lot of memories. No, I don't know about 200, but
did you do it on purpose or was it?
I just remember it feeling like it was going to come out and then feeling really good and was like, I'm just going to do it because it feels good.
Maniac, Jim. Look at Jim's face. It's a maniac.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I mean, it feels good now still too. That's why I got the bidet.
But Jim, Jim, you don't go
That's
to...
That's the greatest damn invention.
See? Yes.
Bidet's the best.
okay. It is.
I don't know why they haven't taken off in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best thing, whatever. I mean, you got,
I asked for
a clean butt is a happy butt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it.
It's like literally showering every time you go to the
bathroom. This is no bullshit. That's what I asked Andrea for Christmas this year.
Really?
Andrea asked me anything. She's like, what do you want for Christmas this year? I want a bidet. That's what I want.
That's good for you.
How did you? I mean,
I went to Japan. Saw it in Japan. I was like, "Why is this not a thing?" And
you got the heat air, right?
When I was in Paris, I said I had asked my wife, "How do you operate this?
Yeah,
what are you supposed to do?" I said, "Before." I said, "After." I said, "What do you? It's fantastic."
Yeah.
Well, you can do it. You can do it before, and it stimulates and makes you go too.
It stimulates it.
It stimulates the butthole to.
You just feel like you're walking around without a stinky butt. I mean, you're just like if you go to after using that, if you go to the theater or something, and you're scooting down the rows, at least you know that nobody's going, "What the fuck, man?"
Well, this goes to something that I started doing, like not to hijack because I'd thrown it on here as something to talk about, but I mean this goes perfectly into something I wanted to bring up. Is that lately I've been reading a lot of articles about like my quality of sleep and why my quality of sleep is decreased and why it's not good. And I have started sleeping nude. And I sleep better. I sleep all the way through the night.
What were you doing before?
I would just wear like boxers and like a tank top.
Oh, you wore a tank top?
But it was just too hot.
Choke you.
And so I've been sleeping nude, and I read all these articles about it that say it's just good for your genitals, it's good for your ass. But then I started like with my anxiety, my hypochondria, more my anxiety. I started thinking about, well, if I have a shit butt or a dirty butt, like I don't want to put a dirty butt on my sheets. You know what I mean? Like it's like at least I had the boxers before that would keep my sheets clean. So now I use like a wipe, like a wet wipe.
A baby wipe.
A baby wipe, to clean before I get in the sheets. But then I'm like, a bidet would be so much better.
Yeah. Bidet's the best.
Yeah, I'm getting one so I can sleep nude. I'm going to complete the circuit, because I've like this whole week I've slept through every single night based on medical marijuana and my sleeping nude.
All right.
Yeah, lower the temperature. They say the colder it is, the better you're going to sleep.
It's good for you too. You burn calories.
I'm an ambient freak. I just pop those things and
Jim, I heard that makes you horny though. Ambient.
What?
Oh yeah. My ex
I'm not taking enough.
My ex used to call me like randomly on Ambien. She's like, "Hey," and start saying some weird stuff. I'm like, "You're on Ambien, aren't you?" She's like, "Yeah," and I couldn't fall asleep, so I'm texting you. I'm like, "Oh fuck." I knew it was like some horny stuff coming my way when she did that.
I couldn't sleep.
Remember that story about that lady who was on Ambien, and then she went up to Walgreens and parked her car, and then asked a homeless man to get in her car. And then she fucked the homeless man, and then remember it was a rape trial. This is like, we talked about this before, and then she claimed that he raped her, and he's like, "No, I'm just the homeless guy standing by this red box machine." This horny lady pulls up and says, "I want to fuck you," and I fucked her. He's like, it was, and then they had it on video.
Oh, good.
And then he ended up
camera saved the day,
but he ended up being okay because they were like, "No, we're looking at you. You're beckoning him in."
You're an insomniac.
Yeah.
I'm a classic insomniac.
Yeah, I'm always up at 3 a.m.
And then but I sleep like a baby now, for the most part. Every once in a while, it's like, okay, let's take another.
For me, it's the medical marijuana. I get that indica. They end the couch and make me sleepy. If I take one of those, it works. Oh yeah. Oh, it's the best. We all have our cards here.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing ever happened to Florida. At least happened to me.
And what's the strain? What's the
one that I have is it would be considered, I guess, like a blend, but it's an indica blend, which makes you tired.
From Certera,
smoke it, edible. What do you do?
It's a pill. It's literally a little clear. It looks like a fish oil pill.
You get high or you just get sleepy?
You get high. You get real high. Like super fucking balls high.
I started hallucinating.
It's awesome. Jim, it's fantastic because you're not smoking or anything, but you pop the pill, and I'm sitting there doing my normal thing. I love QVC, and I'm starting to watch QVC, and then just my eyes start to get heavy, and I put the mask on, and I go right to bed.
Jim, have you seen all the dispensaries that have popped up?
No.
It is.
You don't dabble
I don't get out of the house too much.
We
should do a show. Take Jim to the dispensary.
I'm telling you, we might as well.
Don't let him sucker you into it. Stay clean.
I mean, is it a clinic or do you go in there? It's just like something you'd find in Denver.
It's a retail store.
It's like Denver. I mean, they sell bud now too, and like pre-rolled joints and all that stuff.
We're allowed to do that there.
No, it's all open now, and it's to the point where you get your card and then you can go buy as much as you want, and they're dispensary in every
as much as you're recommended.
Yeah, 17,000 milligrams every 7 months.
17, motherfucker. I got 25,000 milligrams.
So you can get
this guy's
can you get a
super
bag
crazy.
of weed?
You
can.
And some, and some dispensaries you can get a bag of actual
And it's
bud.
that government weed,
but
it's crazy good.
I don't even smoke it or vape it. I just take the pills and the edibles, like where it's all in. I mean, they don't do like the gummy bears and all the baby shit, like Colorado and stuff. They're like it's just pills or capsules.
I don't
now.
need a gummy worm. I don't need a sour patch. I don't need that bullshit. Give me a. I'm an adult. Give me a pill.
Or
you know what I mean?
And it's good. Jim, it is good quality. Like, it'll get you.
It'll dust you.
Yeah. And
no kidding.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're interested, you can.
Well, my doctor just informed us. I mean, he can now prescribe. I guess you need Dr. King.
Yeah. No, Jim. I mean, you go there and be like, sometimes I can't go to sleep. Here we go, 17,000 milligrams. It doesn't matter. You're like, sometimes I feel pain. Here we go, 17,000 milligrams. It doesn't matter.
Samantha and I went last Saturday to we have a new doctor now. It's a woman, an Asian woman, and she specializes because these are doctors that their specialty is different.
They're
than
fringe.
What it's very like my first medical marijuana doctor was a gynecologist, Dr. Jack Rothman, great guy, and then
it's a money grab.
He was too far out, so then I went to Dr. Chung. Dr. Chung's too popular, so then I went to this new lady. This new lady specializes in penile and vaginal rejuvenation, and she is on the Sexual Congress of the World. She holds a chair on the Sexual Congress of the World.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
We're having her in. We're having her in here. She's going to come in here and talk on the show.
Rejuvenate really?
Yeah, she can make your penis younger, and she can make the vagina younger.
By sticking into younger people, it gets younger.
Get out of here. So that she just she's like, I need you. She's like, where's your pain? I said, my back and my knee. And she goes, I also see it's for anxiety.
It doesn't matter.
It makes your penis look young. That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I feel like mine hasn't aged that much.
I just want it to age along with the rest of my body. I don't want to, take everything off. Fuck, I got a 15-year penis that looks like I'm 15 years old on a 72-year-old man.
Without the pubes.
It's smooth, young penis.
You can't come out of the shower at the Y and people go, oh my God.
Jim Phillips got a baby dick.
That old man's balls are tight as shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Our balls age more than our penis. Our balls age.
Yeah.
Our penis doesn't age.
My wife didn't know about that, by the way. Like
ball age?
About
you cut them in half. You count the rings.
I'll tell
a tree.
I'll tell my wife. I was like,
count them.
It's just like women's breasts. Gravity will slowly sag them.
Yeah,
and she's like, really?
I always thought that was. There was two things that Jim. There was one that you said that I still can't, even though you've told me you were bullshitting, I still can't get it out of my mind. I'm going over the Bridge of Lions in St. Augustine, going back to Flagler College, and I'm about to lose the signal from Real Radio, and it's in the afternoon, and Jim's on, and he's talking to, the cast, and Jim says... He says, and you used to you always say these things, and then people would question it, and you go like, oh yeah, like that sort of thing. And he's like, you have a finite amount of orgasms.
Yeah.
That you will eventually you'll run out of the feeling
in life.
Oh yeah, and Jim said,
no question about it.
Yeah, and Jim said this. What? And I swear to God, it is burned in my skull, and now. Even though I've been told that's bullshit, I still believe that you have a finite amount of orgasms and that they will run out.
I've heard around 14,000.
Look at how concerned.
If that's legit, now I have nothing to be panicked about. Mine have getting better lately.
Oh, that's how you know you're near the. That's how you know you're at the end,
and then it goes down.
No, that's how you know you're almost at the end. It's when they get better.
I have thought about this before. Like, is everybody's orgasm feeling the same? Like you get really high, you're like, do you see the same purple I do, bro? Does everybody feel the same?
No.
When it comes, like, do some people have a better feeling than others?
I think so. Yeah.
Some people never have them.
Yeah, that's a huge problem with ladies, right?
Sucks.
I mean. Not so much with guys. And then you got those people in England.
Nothing's going to feel as good as the first one.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
I do remember. I liked it better, too, because I remember my first one. I actually do. And I was a kid. But nothing came out.
Yeah,
and that's just better.
Nothing came out.
It's just better.
Yeah,
just easier.
I thought when
cleaner,
you got a vasectomy that would happen. I wonder.
You had a vasectomy. Butler isn't. You haven't. Did you have a? Have a vasectomy
years ago.
I think I'm next. I think I'm probably next year.
Dude.
Yeah, I think next year I'm probably going to do it. The only thing that scares me. That's a fucked up thing to say. The only thing that does scare me is that I haven't seen my daughter off to college or whatever, and I don't want to cut things, knowing that something might happen. I might need to make another kid to fill the void in my heart.
Or you bank something. You bank.
That's true.
Dude,
Also, they can reverse it.
I'll donate my
I don't
sperm,
want to do the
too.
reversal. I think I'll bank. I think Jim's right. I think I go and I bank.
Keep it in my desk drawer.
Yeah, that reverse thing.
I'll bank it for you.
I know guys who've had the reverse thing. You don't want to go there. They just slice you open like a
my
cheese
business
dog.
partner's got it.
You know?
Reversal.
Yeah, you don't want any of that stuff.
It hurt more than I did. They put you under?
How did you know I was jacking off in your top drawer?
Things in there.
Didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, they now will like put you under the same anesthesia they do when they take your wisdom teeth out, and I didn't know that was available. And then I heard other people after I got mine, they're like, "Oh yeah, I was put out," and then I woke up and I was like, "Shit, I wanted that." I was awake, and the guy's like, "You're gonna feel a little pinch," and it was more than a pinch. It was like,
really?
"Ah!" Like it hurt. Hey, fast.
Is it like a kicked in the nuts feeling in the stomach?
No, it was like someone's cutting your balls off.
Well,
first
I'd rather have that.
They injected.
You guys are doing like a fucking who's on first.
Now it's fast.
What did it feel like? It felt like that? No, it felt like somebody's cut my balls off.
It's not that bad. And they told me that after I would have to sit for like 24 hours with peas on. Like I just went to the mall and was walking around.
Stretched it out.
They gave me some pain pills.
You want to start shopping?
But, my wife
Turning
was
into an old man.
I know. All right.
Last story. So far, so good.
Ohio, no, it was not bad. Nobody died, but it was a knockout. Ohio McDonald's customer hit in face with a blender. Thrown by an employee after a dispute. Oh, you saw the actual video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. And McDonald's customers hit in the face with a blender thrown by an employee after she went into the Ohio store to complain about an incorrect order. Brittany Price went through the fast food chain's drive-thru in Coleraine Township a few days ago. However, when she received her order, the cheeseburgers and Happy Meals was incorrect.
All right, here's the video. I'll put it up here so the Twitch folks can see it. There she is. She's throwing her food.
Yeah, that's the thing. She threw first. Boom!
And so...
and I know that walk after.
So what they did, they picked up a blender and threw it at her?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. But look how she stumbled. She definitely got a concussion because as she hit...
She's throwing, blender to the head, boom, out.
See ya.
Wait.
And those like industrial blenders that they have.
The Vitamix. I get the Vitamix. Those things are badass.
The Vitamix is no bullshit.
Oh, it's freaking...
You could kill somebody with it.
Oh, yeah. It's probably 20, 25 pounds.
The thing is, that's a mental illness thing, right? When you start going so crazy at a fast food place that you're fighting with the employees, like no normal person is doing that, right?
Yeah,
like,
you're drunk or something. You're just being stupid. Good.
And you get to the point where you're screaming at the person. They don't want to work there. You're screaming because your food order's wrong, and then it escalates to the point where they're smashing you in the face with a blender.
Well, I saw her eye is completely swollen shut. Her lip is busted.
Oh, she'll sue McDonald's. Is crazy.
But you know what? Like,
but she threw for. She didn't throw first. Then would be like.
I feel like I feel like there should be some sort of
self-defense.
Yeah, you should.
You don't know. She's going to climb the counter.
Exactly.
You know,
that's true. That's
throw a blender at her.
I throw a blender at everyone that walks into McDonald's.
French fries.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks is that
should be going in there anyway. Disgusting.
Maisie,
make something out of this.
Maisie doesn't get any fast food. Like I don't give her that. But if she does something good or something, occasionally and just obviously through television and just impressions, she wants McDonald's. She calls it Old McDonald's. So because they have the place up here and they just remodeled it, I'm like, yeah, get up there, give her 4 chicken nuggets and
a dad. Don't take her there. Sorry.
Well, I take her there.
Bad parenting.
Yeah, probably so. So I take her there.
It's fine.
But the last time we were there, I don't think we'll ever go back because I saw a guy throw his food at the people. It's almost like it's a thing.
Well, why are you going inside? Never go inside.
No, she wanted to play at the play place.
Although
you've never been inside and let your sons play at the play place?
I've never been inside and eaten with my sons at a McDonald's. My mom takes them. She's fine with it.
There we are.
I'm like, I'm not going in there. I'll go through the drive-thru. I get my son McDonald's. Like I'm not a.
Why was he throwing food? You don't see this in other places.
The guy threw a cheeseburger because they got the order wrong, and I saw him throw the burger, and I'm like, this must be like does this happen daily?
I threw food once.
I was in the Apple store. Okay, I'll give you another one. This is where I think people have lost their fucking minds. I was in the Apple store getting my MacBook repaired, and I picked it up. I signed for it, and a lady came in, and she just walks in and she yells at this one of the geniuses and throws her iPhone on the ground, and it shatters and glass goes everywhere, and she storms out. I think I talked about this on the show before. And then I asked the guy, I go, what the hell was that about? And the guy was like, the guy that worked there, he's like, yeah, we get like maybe 5 or 6 of those a week.
No
people that throw their computers or throw their phone on the ground or throw it at them, and I'm like, and this is in millennia. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, 5 or 6 a week. And I'm like, so people are like, it's different now, right? Is it different now?
People are entitled.
I think it's different now.
People are just pissed off at one of for
Why
various
are we so
reasons.
pissed?
People are just really angry.
Because we can't
people
control,
are looking for a fight.
We can't control the world, so we're going to get mad at each other now?
Because we're not getting laid.
I feel...
Well, the people feel powerless, and so you're going to do something where you feel that you have some kind of power. Whether it's in your car, you're throwing food, you're throwing phones, you're yelling and flipping people off. I mean, it's
crazy.
It's a way to exert some power.
Yeah. It feels good. Sometimes it does, just to get that anger out.
Yeah, until you get hit with the blender.
Yeah, that's true. I should have blocked.
It may have been, and I apologize if it's one of our BDMs, but I saw a post on Facebook, like, the person was complaining about, they're like, I put an insurance claim, and those motherfuckers expected me to pay $500 of the first fee towards what of my claim. And I was like, that's a deductible. And like, he was mad, and I'm like, that's how it works, buddy.
My dentist had the audacity to say I have holes in my teeth, and I don't brush them. Fuck you, dentist.
Yeah, it's you want an avenue to complain, and you don't know how the world works. And that's a bad combination.
It's ignorance plus you can't control anything, and you smoosh it together, and then you get blender tossing.
All right, so Seth, thanks for the news. I appreciate it.
We know you got to get out of here. Anything to plug? How'd your Halloween?
It went great. We had over 200 people come through.
Nice.
No shit.
Wow. Yeah, it was really good. And everyone that left, we heard nothing but great things. Thanks, guys, for coming through, by the way.
Any BDMs call you out in the goat outfit?
Yes, a couple of people said something like, what did they say? They were saying, mumbled something. I don't know how they knew it was me because I had a big goat head on, and maybe because I was shirtless, I guess.
We did say Seth will be in the goat costume.
Yeah. On the show. We talked about it. I forgot.
Do you know what he did in his haunted house at the jungle? He was a... What did you have, a satanic church or something?
Yeah, satanic church of Sethifer.
And then you were dressed like a demon.
Baphomet.
And then Baphomet, and then you had a nude girl on a table.
I had so I changed. It was my friend who's pretty much nude. He was shirtless with little things on, and
I thought it was a girl.
The girl was the one that slit his throat, and she was dressed in a corset. No, that's the 22-year-old that I was. She was working.
Come play in my Halloween dollhouse.
I'm a baby.
So yeah, we had the haunted house. It went really good. Next year I want to do it for 2 days instead of just one.
But sure, Orlando can handle it.
I don't know if they can, to be honest.
If they want to work at your gym,
jungleorlando.com for the gym. They're karate. If you guys are more interested in the traditional aspect, that's karateoforlando.com. Follow me on Instagram at Silverback Seth. And I'm competing. I don't know if you heard me or not. I'm competing in a tournament tomorrow.
No, really? Can people go watch?
Is this where you go and beat up dads?
It's at
Jim, this is great.
It's not.
So
this is different.
Explain to Jim Phillips what you do and how you take advantage of fat dads that want to learn karate.
I'll explain the reality to Jim. So what Seth does, because he's no longer a professional fighter. He retired, but he still likes the competition and wants to win.
It's in his blood. He can't get it out of there.
So what he does,
I like to be dominant.
He joins these like semi-amateur jiu-jitsu competitions where it's him and a bunch of other dads.
Like Weekend Warriors type.
Yeah, like Weekend Warriors that, so like the dad comes up dressed in his gi and his family's there, his kids are like, Dad's been practicing.
The kids are like, Dad just had enough time to leave his managing of the Amscot to change into his gi and get out there. Oh, look, his opponent, is that the guy that knocked out Kimbo Slice?
So the dad's like, he's a, probably a doughy dad doing jujitsu on the weekends, and then Seth comes up ripped and then beats the shit out of the dad in front of his family.
And then he wins these. He gets these trophies.
I get a trophy.
And then he goes on Instagram acting it's some fucking victory. He's beating up a bunch of fat
whatever. Their levels are just the same as me. I just had a little more level.
So you're professionals.
Yeah, well, I get it. But it's still
all you do is work out. These dads are they're like insurance guys, and on the weekend do jujitsu, and you're beating the shit out of them.
Oh, they probably love it though.
Well, they do come up to me.
I got the shit knocked. I got my shit knocked out of me, but
Yeah, you might be right.
Maybe. No, a couple has come up to me and said that. They're like, I was nervous, but you're a great guy. Thank you. That meant a lot to me to grapple with you. So it was cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some of them did
tap out.
So you're beating up Meatloaf because he's got big titties.
Their kids were crying, but but this one's got a traditional karate tournament. So I haven't competed in anything like this in like 20 plus years. No. So it's like point sparring. So it's like these guys are gonna be really fast, and I gotta like.
How fast?
They're fast, man. I'm telling you, they're fast.
Oh, can I bet on it? Can I go there?
It's on ESPN. Wide World of Sport. I think it's on ESPN.
Oh, really? We didn't watch it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
What time?
I have no. Mine goes on Saturday morning at like 9 in the morning.
Will it be live on there?
What's it called?
I think it's live. It's called the International Martial Arts Fest on ESPN. So it's either ESPN 2 or one.
Do they check to see if you actually know what you're doing? Because it'd be funny if I just showed up within the competition, signed myself in.
I don't know. They didn't check. They knew when I called. They're like, "Oh, Seth, yeah, it'd be great to have." They knew who I was. So I don't know if they just didn't check. At ESPN, Wide World of Sports in Disney.
Okay, yeah, Disney.
So I'm going to a hotel tonight to stay there because I don't have to drive early in the morning.
You bringing your girlfriend?
No, I'm solo. I need when it's competition.
Oh, you need concentrate.
I don't need any.
You bringing your dogs?
No, I have my roommate looking after me. Or my mother-in-law suite I rented.
Do you even hype yourself up anymore for the fight?
Yeah, I'm nervous actually for this one because I haven't done this in a while. So
do you know?
Yeah, but when you beat up the dads, I mean, when you see him, oh Jesus!
But that's even more
15 seconds. So you give him a minute to mess around.
Do you sweep
or
the
you
leg?
just go out there and just boom, they're
this one
out.
I can sweep the leg.
Yeah, sweep the leg.
Do you like?
I'm more
you
nervous
pin him and then spit the loogie and suck it back up. Traditional bully.
No, but I do.
Maybe you let them show off to their kids for a little bit.
I do grab onto
Can
body
they get you in a headlock or something, give you a noogie, and then you say, okay, enough of you.
I do grab on some fat boobies sometimes. Like if I'm reaching for like an arm, I grab onto like his boobs and pull that down instead, just to mess with him.
You pull the old man.
I pull the old man boobs. I've done that a couple of times on purpose just to do it.
Why is that right? It's like, ow!
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Right?
It's fucked up to pull an old man's titties.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
But it was acting like I was grabbing for the collar, to pull it down, but I grab here instead and pull.
It's the same move I try to pull on my wife. I'm like, oh, you got something in your ear. And then
All right, so if you want to head out to the Wide World of Sports and see
want some old man titty grab.
No, I won't titty grab. You're not allowed to grab here. Just spar. Just spar. And maybe some kata too. I don't know. The forms I'm thinking about doing.
You know those really well, right?
Yes, very well.
Yeah, because you teach those.
Yeah.
KarateOfOrlando.com.
KarateOfOrlando.com.
There you go. All right, here we'll play. So we'll take a quick break.
Yeah. I want to say I had a blast. It was very nice seeing you again. I had a blast. Thank you for agreeing with me on a lot of things.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Those are your numbers to call, and show at tomanddan.com if you want to leave us a voicemail message. We'll be right back. Hey there, Mr. Subaru. Mr. Tom, how do you do? You bought 3 Subarus. Started with a Forester. You liked it, so did her. Her is your wife. She got a car. She got a used car. It went far. Then you sold it and bought your truck. You said, fuck you, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting my truck. I'm going to drive it. Fuck, you're my wife. Suck my dick. Suck it.
Come on, stop. You went too far.
Ruining the dream.
I liked it at first, then you went way down a path that I
That's
don't
what
think
all good rappers do. You ease them in, and then you're like, bitches and hoes.
No. Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, West Colonial Drive. That is the dealership that advertises with us.
Yep.
They're the only Subaru dealership in Florida with no dealer fee.
No dealer fee.
And if you go talk to Mike Stacks over there, he's our BDM contact, and he'll take care of you. And that's the good, what's cool about using our sponsors is you're going to get the extra VIP care because they know that you'll tell us how your experience went.
Well,
you'll talk about it on the BDM page.
Preparation tip. Like you say it to them, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who I'm dealing with now.
You have a voice now because you're a Tom and Dan listener, and you will tell us how your experience went. And what's great about Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, Mike Stacks, and also Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont.
Yes. DMChevy.com.
JC Harrelson, who will take care of you over there, is that both dealerships do an unbelievable job, and they both have great customer service, and they take care of Tom and Dan listeners. But you're right. I had a Subaru Forester. I have WRX. My wife is looking at that Ascent. And if you go to Don Mealy Chevy, I got the Silverado from there. JC hooked me up. He'll hook you guys up too. Also, they're coming out with that brand new C8 Corvette that me and you saw recently.
It's so nice. The mid-engine Corvette's just dope, man.
And it's not. It looks like a supercar, but it doesn't have a supercar price.
No.
And if you want to pre-order one, go talk to JC. He'll take care of you.
Oh, he was so busy the day we saw him. He was just like, I mean, people were ordering these Corvettes like crazy. We got to see it up close, take some pictures. It's not still there, I don't believe, but they will be getting some in. Yeah. He said, what, in a month or so?
Real soon, yeah. And you got to pre-order with the brand new Corvette, but they have a huge inventory of regular Corvettes.
Now might be the time to go and get a little bit of a better deal on last year's model.
If you get a car from either of these dealerships, you get to come in and watch a show. They also have tons of license plate tags and Tom and Dan stuff. If you just want to swing by, do a test drive, walk around, you can get some Tom and Dan stuff too. Just remember to see our contacts: Mike Stacks at Sport Subaru, Sport Mitsubishi, and JC Harrelson at Don Mealy Chevrolet.
I indulge in every pleasure, engaged in lover's game. Can I hold you till these dark dreams fade?
That is my pick of the week. Have you heard of Son Little? That is off of his Invisible EP. The name of the song is Hey Rose. Welcome back to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler's here. Our very special guest is Mr. Jim Phillips. For those of you locally, you would have known him from the Phillips File, which had a how many year run? 30 year run. And at the top of their game, the entire duration.
We did okay.
Yeah, you did really well. But do you miss it?
Oh, no.
We're going to ask you.
I think about it, but I don't miss the stress, and the last couple of months were not good for various. There were things going on. It didn't end well.
Yeah. Do you feel like because there's often like anytime you retire from a career, and this happens with a lot of different careers, and I've heard it happen with broadcasting, where the people that retire, they feel like I just need to get I need to get it out. I need to whether it's creatively, whether it's you have something to say. Do you ever feel like that? Like I need to tell people something.
Yeah, off and on, but I'll write letters to the editor, or when you get to be my age, you sit. It's true. You sit in your chair and you yell at the TV.
No.
That's what you do.
I like that. That's where I want to be now.
That is where you want to be now.
That's what old men do. You sit in a chair and you start bitching about at what you see on the TV. You're bitching about everything.
Do you still get fired up about all the political situations?
Oh, sure, of course, yeah. Because but that's the way I'm wired.
Yeah.
But no, I don't miss the grind. I miss sometimes some of the people I knew, and just going to the environment and going to work, just going someplace. Yeah. But the grind of what am I going to do for 4 hours on the air? I don't miss that at all.
Yeah. Do you?
It's hard.
It's not. People think, oh, that's easy. I talk. I could do that. Yeah, try it. Yeah, try it sometime.
It's mentally exhausting.
It is.
Because you're not just talking like you normally would in any sort of conversation. You're presenting this conversation to an
other
audience,
people to listen to.
Yeah. In a way
has to be entertaining.
And it's fucking like mentally it's exhausting. But I was going to ask you about like now. Have you settled into like a routine Monday through Friday? Like I always wonder, like when you retire,
of course.
do like Monday through Friday mean anything different than Saturday and Sunday? Like I imagine when you're not working, the weekdays are different than the weekends.
I'm pretty good at sitting on my ass and doing nothing. I mean, people think that I'm always peripatetic and I'm here and I'm there. No, I get up I get up about 6, then I meditate, and then I exercise. I'm rowing now.
That's good though.
And
just
then
like
I come
the guy
home.
just like the Dutch man that stole those children and put them in the basement.
Yeah, exactly.
He invented that wooden rowing machine.
Yeah, but I'm on the lake and I do my thing.
Oh, you're actually on.
Oh yeah,
rowing, not a machine.
No.
This is awesome. I thought you were like in a rowing machine and you're.
No.
Now we got to back up a little bit. So what? You just go down. You walk down to the lake and get in a canoe, or like what are you running?
Get in a rowboat, and it's got what a skull is.
Yeah.
You've seen them. It's kind of in between that and a regular rowboat. It's got a sliding seat, and it's great exercise.
That's
the
dope.
problem is I get home and do about 3 miles. It takes about an hour.
That's a lot of work.
It's great, but then you get home and you're chowing down on your you just kill the exercise because all of a sudden you're 5,000, 8,000 calories, spaghetti and pasta, cupcakes and Fritos and everything that's bad for you because you're just trying to, fuel your body.
Yeah.
So, but.
Do you encounter, because I could imagine what lake it is, and they let a lot of riffraff on there, and the reason I know that is because I am the riffraff that goes in. It has one public boat ramp. I don't know. I don't want to blow up your
It's Lake Fairview. People row there all the time.
Oh, yeah. Do they let power boats and stuff? Yeah.
Well,
if they get too close to you, will swamp your boat?
No, people are really pretty good because because I think Lake Brantley and Edgewater and, schools have their racing shells out there. Their crew. So, they're people are pretty good about it.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the hobbies that we've mentioned before. And I noticed that you
brought one. I had to request it.
Yeah. And so what are we looking at right here?
That's a crow call.
Okay.
Because I go outside in a driveway and there's a big tall tree and crows that, would show up at the top. And they give you that bird look, which is, they and I said, what the fuck is that? Can I swear?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that all about? And I said, okay. So I read about crows because, and then you find out more about it. And then you read that, okay, they'll bring you trinkets. And I said, that's it, man. I'm going to get to the point where these birds are going to bring me something. When I first started off, they'd fly off. They'd leave. And I said, what the hell?
What were you saying? Fuck you.
Yeah, it must have been, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
But then I started. You got to leave them food. You got to leave them something. They won't bring you anything unless you give them something.
All right.
But what was happening, I don't make a long story short, squirrels would get to the food, so you got to come up with a system so the squirrels can't get to the food. You leave them cherries or corn or something, and eventually they started dropping stuff.
So you brought
look at this.
These are actually things that the crows brought
treasures.
you.
Yeah, crow trinkets.
Yeah.
Boy, they're stupid.
We got a ribbon. We got a pin cap.
Those are dumb as fuck.
What's the white
But
thing?
in the crow world, that might mean something.
Yeah. We got like a pin cap, a string, what appears to be a piece of ribbon, a bottle cap.
So it's trash.
It is. It's trash.
Yeah, but they might
They're helping clean up the earth.
They might use it in their nest. It might be a form of currency. I don't know. I don't know what
they stay together as a group.
Yeah, murder.
They don't leave. Yeah, murder of crows. They from birth till death, they're always in a murder in a group of crows. They travel in groups.
And also, won't they recognize
on the camera so
people can see? They can tell the difference between one human and another. Like I've heard that before too. Like a crow will remember your face, and
I guess.
And then there's something where if you do something bad to a crow or whatever, like it can actually differentiate your like you with some other human, which you would think there would be no way, but like crows are smart.
I guess, but they leave stuff.
And do you can you catch one and you domesticate it?
I know people hunt them out in the Midwest. There's something about, I guess, because they interfere with crops or eat seeds and stuff like that, so they'll shoot them.
Okay,
which is I don't want to shoot anything.
Could you have, I know people have pigeons.
Like a pet crow?
Yeah. Could you have a pet crow, or are they too wild?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's a bad omen, I think. Right?
It's usually a sign of something, in movies or whatever, crows.
Of course.
Except the movie The Crow. It was a good thing. Because he was like a vengeful clown karate man.
Unless you're...
right? That's what he was. He was a clown.
Didn't end well for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the real Brandon Lee, it didn't end well for him. But The Crow... Didn't they reprise that later with another Crowman?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done several iterations of that.
Yeah. I remember when that first came out, everybody was like, this is the greatest movie in the world. And then... it's kind of faded away.
Jim, I want to ask...
Who said that was the greatest movie in the world?
Well, at the time, action movies, when I was younger. I don't know how old I was when I saw it.
It was only hot because Brandon Lee died. Right? That was the only reason.
Yeah.
And it had a pretty killer soundtrack, but outside of that, it was grunge era crap.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Jim, what is Sniper's Alley? Because you mentioned it. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm working with certain demographics, so your audience is a lot younger than I am. Sniper's Alley essentially is when you get to be at a particular age, people who you know start passing. Wendy Chioji just passed away. And that's Sniper's Alley. When you find yourself, the saying is, when you find yourself in Sniper's Alley, you find yourself in kind of at an age or in a position where you're hoping that the sniper isn't looking at you, because people I'm going to be 72. Can you believe it? I can't. I can't believe it. I just can't. I can't comprehend the fact that I'm going to be 72.
You look great, though, Jim.
I do.
You don't look 72.
It's a facial.
Yeah.
It's all the facial.
It's the facial.
Yeah. The rowing and the meditation.
But still, I mean, all of a sudden you're always reading obituaries now. I mean, it's just the standard getting old. I hate it. I can't stand getting old.
Samantha,
I hate it.
What was your quote that you've been saying lately?
Oh, time is the devourer of all things.
There's no running from it, and it seems like it goes faster and faster.
It does.
Even I'm on only 37.
They also say what? It's the only commodity you can't make more of, or
I swear to God, I was like, we just did the Friday free show yesterday. Like it just goes, and then my kids, I'm reminding how fast it goes. I'm looking at them grow, and I'm like, what the hell? You were just a baby. Now what?
I hate the cliche, but I mean, it's absolutely true. Yeah. It does go faster and faster and faster and faster and faster.
So how do you deal with that? Like, because that's
meditation.
You just have to, right? I mean, you don't.
The worst part for me, I can't speak for everybody. The worst part for me is as soon as I wake up in the morning, I start. You start thinking about your own mortality, so to speak, and what you have to do is you got to get going. You got to expand your mind. So, and that's essentially what's happening when you wake up in the morning. You go from an unconscious state to a conscious state, or a semi-conscious state to a conscious state. You're expanding your mind, so your mind gets filled full of stuff, and that's how you kind of divert the attention from what we all know is true.
Yes, and
I hate to be Debbie Downer, but
I think about this all the time too. But I do it the opposite. Like when I get into bed and I'm about to go to sleep, I feel like it's the only time that I can stop time is when I go to sleep, and I get really fucked up high, and then I lay there and I close my eyes and I just wish to never wake up. I don't know. I don't want to kill myself or anything.
And then you're going, okay, how do you want it to come to an end? Do you want to bam like that? Or do you want I want enough time to say goodbye to everybody?
Rapid fire lightning strike. That's
what
I want.
The only person in my life is my wife. She knows that I love her. So, if it goes quickly, that's fine with me.
Yeah. What if, Jim, they come up with a technology? Because I know some of these tech billionaires and stuff are trying to research ways to download your consciousness into computers and things, like to extend your life as we know it. Because that's the one thing that all these guys can't buy is more time. And but they want to how can I live forever? Essentially,
well, then you're a vampire.
Yeah.
And the vampires are the saddest, if you want to call them, people on the planet because they've had everything. All the riches, all the knowledge, everything. They know everything. They've had everything to experience. This is why what a life that would be.
Yeah. If you live forever, they say it would be the most miserable thing in the world because your
you ever
life...
see a happy vampire? I mean, really.
They're pretty horny.
They're miserable.
Well, what else do you have?
Yeah.
If you're going to kill time because you can't be, killed or whatever, then the only thing you have left to do is have sex, I guess.
It's almost the same.
There's nothing else in life to experience once you're a vampire.
It's the same analogy of if you had unlimited money, then it's almost a curse because then nothing's valuable to you. Like if you could buy anything you want,
we've talked about that before.
Who cares?
With the kids that I knew that were gifted everything, that really were instilled no sense of value, those are the ones that typically aren't with me anymore, are doing really bad things right now, or in jail. It didn't go well for them, the rich kids.
Oh, this is a happy program.
My God, what happened to Fun Friday?
Happy.
No joke Fridays.
Okay.
Now, not to keep talking about death, but I'm curious.
Do it. Double down on death.
We were at Greenwood Cemetery, and we were doing our Halloween special.
Yes.
They will air Halloween night, and we talked to Don Price about like how things have changed in that industry and how less people are even getting buried, and less people are getting less
people getting married, less people getting buried.
It was also a thing in like Daniel's parents, and like I remember my grandma talking about a lot. Is like they would get their
plot,
like their cemetery plot, and that was part of your like adult responsibility of organization or like.
And it
planning.
was commonplace to talk about it. Like we'd be eating fucking sloppy joes, and my dad's like, "Well, I don't think I want to be buried in Martinsville. I think I want to be buried in DeLand." And my mom's like, "No. We have those plots," and I'm just sitting there eating my fucking sloppy joe, like like that. Yeah. You don't get that now. Like I would.
Seems like no one cares.
I don't want to talk about that because I'm weird like that. Like it would make me sad.
Now they have all these life experiences and celebrations, and I hate that stuff. I think funerals you ought to be crying and that's how you because all of a sudden then it's just make believe. Well, the person's not really gone; he's still with us, and but that's bullshit. I mean, that is absolute bullshit. I mean, this is relatively new. Let's celebrate his life. No, I don't want you. You don't need to celebrate anything. I want you to be absolutely miserable and sad.
I'll never have him.
Cry.
His brain turned off. He's not somewhere better. It's nothing.
And I'm gonna have to face the same thing in the future. That's what.
And you're crying. Man. Even his crows showed up to pay their respects. They're bringing fucking bottle caps and laying them in the
Vikings didn't, they didn't have a life celebration. They put you on a ship, and
fired an arrow out.
Yeah, set it on fire why?
By the way, Jim, we've talked about that a lot on the show.
I like that
the
too.
Viking burial, because it takes a lot to totally cremate a body. Just some hay on a ship isn't going to do the
You're
job.
Gonna need some accelerant on there.
It's only going to burn like whatever half was under the hay, and the rest is going to wash ashore.
Now the theory is they didn't set it out to sea. Now they just dug a big hole and put the ship in the hole, and along with the dogs and the horses and the ornaments and the shields and the swords and everything. Yeah. And then I guess it's easier because then you just drop it in. And
you're going to have to because Tom...
crap! Haul it back!
Yeah, Tom brought up
it's not on fire!
Point.
Bring it back in!
You shoot the fucking arrow, zink, and it goes out, and then it lands, like if I'm laying there, and then it stabs me like right in... Let's say you shoot 5 flaming arrows, and 2 of them go into my calves, and then 1 misses, and then the other 2 go into my chest.
Yeah.
Well, you would hate to think that it would burn up and burn my face and hair and burn all the way down, and then for my thighs, it burns from about my knee down to my feet, and then all that's left is my cock and balls, and then that just floats down the river so my children can see it. It's just, what's that? That's your dead dad's fucking genitals laying there on the beach.
So
not a good thing to look at.
Have you ever? Do you have any plan of what you want to do? No. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Because why even have a plan? It seems like the worst thing to plan for.
I think the only reason why is because when you pass, whether it's your significant other or your kids or your parents or whatever, like they want to know what to do. You know what I mean? Because when my dad died, I was like, I don't know what the hell to do.
What do I care?
The difficult part is, I tell my wife Catherine, just push me into the pool with the cinder block around me. I told my doctor just push me.
She's going for a nice
got a new
swim.
I don't know if I told you guys this story. I was looking for a new doctor, so I sit down with this new doctor, my wife and I said, I don't know, the time comes, I'm in miserable pain and this and that. I just tell my wife, just push me into the pool with a cinder block around my ankle. He said, oh no, there are better ways of doing that. You get the car and you put the hose on. This is my doctor. This is my doctor. He said, you put it in there. And I said, you're hired. Yeah. You're my doctor.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah, he was great. And straight face. It was just like, no, there's a better way of doing it.
I like that. Okay. Struggling at the bottom of your pool.
Yeah, but I feel like I would trust this guy now because he's giving it to me straight.
Then your pool guy comes. He's like, fuck.
That's another $100.
I can't skim that out of there.
Let's talk about tattoos. Because you got new. I
saw used your guys.
You got new tattoos.
And they're just affirmations. That something just comes along.
Are you starting to get the itch? Because so does Butler. Butler's been. But Butler,
I'm not the itch for a sleeve. I'm not.
Your tattoos mean something to you.
They do.
They're not nerd tattoos, right?
No,
because Butler's been getting a whole slew. He's got Ewoks on his back, and he's got Princess Leia on his ass cheeks, and he's got Jabba.
No, he's got Jar Jar Stinks on his butthole.
He's got show Jim what you have.
What you got?
Yeah, he's been going crazy.
It's embarrassing, Jim.
It's nerd tattoos, Jim.
He's a big Star Wars.
It's all Star Wars crap.
I thought I hired a non-nerd.
Damnation, son.
Yeah, look at that. Look, he's got the Death Star, and he's got Wu-Tang Clan.
Now, do they stay there, or they color him in? What are they going to do?
He wants the black.
I'm going to keep him black.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go color.
Yeah, mine are just affirmations, and I'm kind of at the point I'm thinking about. I know something's going to come up, and I'll run down there to the guys that you recommended.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
$150 later, boom, you come out.
They look good, though. They're cool.
Yeah, my wife doesn't have any.
She doesn't care what you do?
No.
I mean,
she said, your body, you do whatever you want. And she's not turned off by it.
Right, which is good.
I hope you get so into it you become the
enigma,
the puzzle piece,
all over your face.
Your tongue.
Yeah, the lizard man. Yeah.
Boy, that freaks some people out, right?
Yeah. And
he retired, and look at him now.
I know. All right, let's take a quick break.
My wife just came in. What are you doing here?
Uh-oh.
Am I in trouble? What did I do?
I haven't seen your wife in ages.
I know. I said, you just because we have a superstar in here, you have to come in. No, she'll never pop by, but Jim Phillips stops by, and then you suddenly have to come by and get a hug or something.
Crow stuff.
Yeah, just see the crow stuff. Okay, that's good. We'll take a little break.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see what music I got. This is good. You remember the band Paramore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Their original drummer, they were a brother. The guitarist and the brother, and the drummer were brothers, rather. And they decided to leave the band. I want to say like in 07, 08, something maybe 09, because they were. I think they were weirded out by Haley Williams, the singer. She's kind of like the only piece that I feel like the record company wanted.
They definitely made her the main deal.
And they made her like the main deal. But he's actually back with Paramore. I didn't know that. I don't think his brother is, but they're still playing together. But he has his own band called Half Noise. And man, this is really cool because this is like funky. And you would never expect that what was the drummer of Paramore, like this guy now has like this funky band called Half Noise. The name of the song you're going to hear is called Boogie Juice. It's off of their Natural Disguise album. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you have a question for Jim, or show at tomanddan.com for emails.
You're gambling again, aren't you?
I promise, I'll get it back. There'll be more than enough for bills next month.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I can't live like this anymore.
To give you an update on his betting record, here he is, the master of Never Not Bet, Tom Van.
Well, by saying master, you're implying that, it could be the master.
How's your record, sir?
At being horrible at gambling. My record is still winning. I went
chipping away at it, right?
Well, no, chipping away at the other end of it. I went 1-3 last week. Had a horrible week, and my total record is now 17-13. It is the 8th week of the NFL, so we are, basically in the dead middle of the season right now. But here we go. I'm hoping to have a winning record this weekend. And honestly, I'm doing a little bit of taking some more chances. I think I was overthinking it too much, and I talked myself out of some games last week from I listened to way too much. So I'm listening to people then handicap a game, and I like it. And then a person handicaps the other side, and I'm like, well, I like that too. And then anyway, so
let's
get to it. All right, first game, I like Indianapolis Colts -5.5 against the Denver Broncos.
Yep.
Emmanuel Sanders got traded, so I think the Denver Broncos, or at least what they've been talking about, are going to be down on themselves. Like they traded away one of your star wide receivers,
sure,
and it's a sign to the team that the organization is basically in a rebuild. So I don't know about their motivation for the rest of the season. You're playing a Colts team that has a tremendous offensive line. Blah blah blah. I think they're going to cover this. Colts minus 5.5.
All right.
Next game, Chiefs +4. Now, this is going to surprise a lot of people because they're like, you're playing the Chiefs against Green Bay Packers. The Chiefs are playing at home. They do not have Patrick Mahomes, and this is exactly why I'm betting on the Chiefs, because this is a classic contrarian game where the public is going to hammer Green Bay, and I think they, or at least what the professionals have told me, is they changed the line too much. Before Mahomes was, if you look at the look-ahead line in this game, that it was way different. They adjusted it way too much, and for the backup quarterback, and that's why literally I'm just taking the opposite of what the public's on.
Makes
in
sense
this game.
to me. Yeah,
so
gotcha.
Indy minus 5.5, Chiefs +4. My total this week is Oakland versus Houston. I want the over 51.5. Everybody's talking about how this is going to be a high-scoring game.
Is Oakland rounding a corner, do you feel like?
Well,
they don't look quite as bad as we all were suspecting, do they not?
That is what everybody's saying, that a lot of people are basically eating their words because they thought that John Gruden was going to be horrible, that the Oakland was going to be a mess.
With anything, you give the coach enough time, maybe he'll turn it around.
They've had some good wins, but also Houston looks good, and there's just going to be a lot of points scored in this game.
All right.
My last money bet, these are all bets that I have personal money on, is another 6-point teaser. I'm teasing the Bills up to +4. I'm teasing the Jets up to +12.5, and I'm teasing New England down to -7. That is a 6-point teaser +150, and that bet, I've not been doing too well on my teasers, but I really like this teaser for a lot of different reasons. Now, my Market on Magnolia beer bet.
This is the one that I like.
So I've kind of changed this into my own personal handicap. So this is where I figure out, I'm giving you what I have come up with.
Correct.
Rather than other people.
He's not listening to anybody. He's going with pure van logic.
Well, based on what I've learned how to handicap games, I'm trying to get better at it. This is all a learning experience for me. But if you go to Market on Magnolia and I lose this bet, you can get a free Cigar City beer from their bar. I will text the owner my bet, and he'll know. So here we go. This is my handicap for the beer bet. I'm taking the Bucks +2.5. In fact, our friend Chris Fisher, I texted him about this. He hates this bet, but because he's too much of a fan. He's like, I don't trust the Bucks. They're too inconsistent. Here's the thing. You know what I really don't trust? I don't trust Ryan Tannehill, who's going to be playing for the Tennessee Titans in this match. Now, the Bucks have the #1 run defense, and I think if you take away the run from Tennessee, you take away Henry running, and now you leave it up for Ryan Tannehill to beat you with his arm, and I just don't see it happening. I look back at the Bucks games. The Bucks put up 55 against the Rams. They put up 24 against the Saints. They put up 26 against the Panthers. All great defenses.
I can follow this, yeah.
Tennessee has a decent defense, but the Bucks have proven that if they get going, that they can put up points. And I don't see Tennessee and old Tannehill, who played for the Dolphins. I've watched him a lot of times. I just don't see Tannehill matching the Bucks and putting up the points, especially just with his arm. Now, if the Bucks didn't have a good run defense, I wouldn't be making this bet. So since the Bucks have the #1 run defense in the NFL, I'm taking the Bucks +2.5. I'm also betting my personal money on this. But if you don't like that, which a lot of people don't because my handicapping ability is not that good, go to Market on Magnolia.
Well, I mean, some would say that you're as handicapped as the count.
Yeah. So, again, Market on Magnolia, a great place to watch the games.
All the TVs, wood-fired pizzas, chopped salads, handmade hoagies, and poke bowls.
Yes. They have 3 different mini restaurants inside Market on Magnolia.
Full liquor bar, 30-plus TVs, I think, now.
Great place to watch the games because of the variety of food you get.
And if Tom loses the bet, it's a free Cigar City beer on the house.
Absolutely. Check out marketonmagnolia.com, and good luck gambling.
Ladies
Everything's better with a little bit of face-to-face. That's a brand new album called Live in a Dive. The name of the song, Disconnected, but you probably knew that. It's a super popular song. Listen to that crowd, right? It's always nice when you get that many people applauding for you, and you're an old punk rock band. Mm-hmm. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler's here. Our very special guest is Mr. Jim Phillips.
Good to be here.
Hanging out with us. Are we doing the shot now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Butler, I'll give you your reverb. You can fumble through a toast. All right, there you go. Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right. Be the man that stands tall or be the woman that fights the wall. No matter the battle, even with all the luck, this toast is complete nonsense, but seriously, who says rat fuck? InsideJokes.com, 90210.
Oh, my God.
We're going to email.
He doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, he doesn't listen. There you go. I'll talk about it. I don't care. Yeah, I yelled at Kramer this week, and I had to cut it out of the show. I don't mind saying that.
Yeah.
About what? Yeah. About Kramer?
And by the way, he didn't tell us to cut it out. We just did.
No, I just cut it out as a courtesy because I made it awkward because he cursed and I got mad. And I have a short fuse.
Also,
he's fine.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I love him. I mean, I like him a lot.
Everybody loves him.
But, man alive. You just had that conversation with him, and all of a sudden, he takes that right turn. You go, where are you going?
It's also what makes him a good lawyer, though, too, because it's hard to argue with Kramer. Yeah, it's super smart, but
he is.
I love that dude.
So I'll mention ABC real quick. We are. They're still a great sponsor of ours, and if you go to ABC, put up the hashtag TDABC when you're buying anything, and we talked to them, and they're going to sponsor our Beer Fest and our Sofa and Suds this year.
That's awesome.
So that's going on November 23rd and 24th in Sanford. So mark your calendars for that.
There you go.
Music instruments, Jim.
Yeah, you want to talk about music instruments.
So
are you taking up a new hobby, my good sir?
I'm trying to learn how to play the banjo.
Yeah, I know how to play.
Do you know how to play? I mean, do you pick or do you claw hammer? Yeah, you're picking. The claw hammer is just strumming down.
You could do that.
The problem this is why I have so many hobbies. I just, I get to that point where I'm tired of this. And you know more. Do you play a musical instrument?
No, I do not. I know how to play the bass a little bit, and I played in a goof band.
Is it just practice?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly coordinated.
Did you buy a banjo? Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay. I had it. What brand? Deering?
Deering.
He's buying the right stuff. Deering is probably my favorite.
So when you started, what did you start with? Drums?
I started. My first instrument was the accordion.
All right, whatever, the accordion.
Then the flute, and then drums.
But you became somewhat proficient
on the accordion. I could play Lady of Spain.
But I mean, how long did it? Like anything else, I want instant satisfaction.
No, it was like 6 months of playing, because being able to go in and out with the accordion, because that's what that's the billows that gives it the air that needs it to push a sound out, and then hold down the keys that are full chords, and then to dial the melody in with your right hand is it's kind of difficult.
So how long did you practice? A day? Hour?
30 minutes or so. But Mom was a music teacher, so she was a little more regimented about, if you want to learn it, you got to practice it, Flute, I would do an hour a day.
I think I can do it. My concern is that I don't stick to it. That I'll plateau
what's the end
or something.
Goal? Are you going to play in a bluegrass band?
I just want to be able to play. I wasn't brought up in that environment. My parents didn't play musical instruments. They had no training in that. And later in life, it's always something that I wanted to be able to accomplish, like anything else I've done in my life.
I hope the
banjo's hard, though. You picked a hard one.
Yeah.
I hope the end goal is for you to play banjo on your porch and crows to bring you all the garbage and your rich neighbors to peek out their windows and be like, fuck!
My wife is not crazy about it.
Well, banjo.
The crazy old man.
Because my wife has that, all right, because I keep telling her, well, now I'm in tune with my people. Because they say, my people came from Appalachia and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she can't stand that clodhopper shit kicking type, down in the holler type stuff.
Yeah.
She does. She's
doing some clogging.
Yeah. Oh my God Almighty! If I said, "Geez, I think I'll take some clogging lessons."
Jim, did your wife get annoyed by any of your hobbies? Because my wife hates everything that I do. Literally everything.
No, she
everything that I like, she hates.
I think she likes the idea that I'm interested in things. But she's not. She wasn't crazy over the banjo idea.
Well, it's an aggressive instrument. It's harsh.
If I say, "Hey, I think I'll pick up the cello," I think she'd be a lot. She'd dig on that. That's just the way.
Well, Yo-Yo Ma, cello is a far more. It's a more mellow and enjoyable sound.
It's more refined.
It is. Yeah.
It's just a little. That's her. That's the way she is. That's the way that she's wired.
And the banjo, I believe, is a traditional African instrument.
It is.
Yeah,
it's from Africa.
Yeah, I think if you deep dive into that, that's one of the oldest American instruments you can have.
The problem is when you hear the cello, you're like, "Oh, I'm in a jewelry commercial," and then you hear the banjo, you're like, "Oh, gonna get butt fucked." Yeah. Because of goddamn stigma with the banjo.
That's the stigma. There's goddamn deliverance.
I know. Man, what that has done for the banjo industry, equated it with butt fucking. Literally, that one movie.
I just watched that this year.
That's the first thing I learned to play on
and
the
that
banjo.
kid, in the beginning, he was strumming he wasn't even playing the banjo. They actually put somebody who knew how to play the banjo, up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, they picked him out of an elementary school because he looked a little bit,
He's a little odd.
a little slow, or a little maybe on the spectrum. Like the only thing he knows how to do is pick lice off his head and play the banjo.
Give me that one, the one eating grass.
But they did. That's a true story. They had somebody who knew how to play the banjo come up,
and
play.
I'd like to interview that person. I had to put my arms through a small boy's sleeve.
You recognize these arms? These are special needs
the
Deliverance arms.
The sheriff in that movie, Deliverance, was James Dickey, who wrote the story. He wrote the book.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, apparently they punched him, or he punched a bunch of people out in the cast.
Really?
Oh yeah, he got in fist fights, I think, with Burt Reynolds, and I think Burt Reynolds cleaned his clock. He was a big, imposing booze hound who wrote this great novel that was turned into an iconic movie.
I'll be honest.
He was a real pain in the ass on the set.
I did not like that movie.
Didn't like it?
I thought it was boring.
Did you really?
But see, I had not seen it before, and I wonder if it was great for the time, but maybe doesn't hold up.
Who's the chubbier guy that gets butt fucked?
Oh, that's Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty.
The problem is, if you watch older movies...
Dick Tracy gets butt fucked?
That's Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, different Beatty.
But older movies had a slower pace only because,
half the fucking movie
now.
Half the fucking movie is them yelling each other's names out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, okay, well...
Looking for each other, yeah.
The problem is, nowadays, you could never do anything like that because everybody's ADD and everybody wants, now.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was great back then, but me watching it for the first time, I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get why this is such a great movie.
If you watch Lawrence of Arabia, any super classic,
there's no narrative to movies anymore.
Yeah.
It's just it's a flash, it's a car chase, it's an explosion, a shooting, a this or that. And you're absolutely right. They want it fast, they want it quick, and move on to the next scene. There's no there's no long form movie anymore.
Yeah.
You have to think about it.
Of course, you want giant explosion superheroes to sell to the global market. You'd be like, this will never work in China because that's all that matters. It's all money. Do you want to do some voicemails?
Yeah. You want to do that?
Here we go.
Little mail on mail. Here we go. It's
if you thought
I'll answer anything.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail brought to you by Surterra, Surterra.com. They are our official medical marijuana dispensary.
Theragels are back, baby.
I've gotten embarrassed of every intro I've played in front of Jim Phillips.
I know, me too.
This bit is called Mail on Mail, and I thought it would be funny to call a gay sex line and record it as the intro, and just watching everybody's expression. I find it's only funny to me.
I've heard it all.
So go to Surterra.com, and if you want your medical marijuana license, just go to their physician recommendation on their website. And
super duper easy.
And you can get it fairly quickly nowadays. And
within a week.
Join the club.
Yeah. We all do
within
it.
a week,
Cool kids are doing it.
So, all right, what do you want first? Voicemail?
Let's go emails, because I printed out some new ones for Samantha.
The subject for this one is snubbed again. Hey, Dan, I listened to the part of your show when you were talking about your 7-Eleven ladies. You don't talk to your mailman every day? Weekly? I'm a T6, meaning I cover the route for 5 carriers on their day off because we still deliver 6 days a week. I talk to lots of people on each route, some at business, some at homes, but almost never at Tom's house because he runs inside when he sees me coming. Love the show, still listening during my commute on my motorcycle. Tom's other mailman.
So he's snubbing Tom, not me. He started talking to me.
He's asking because he said, you talked about how you're very friendly with your 7-Eleven.
I'm a regular at the 7-Eleven on Corinne, right up here.
Yeah,
So do you talk to your mailman or your garbage man?
I never see him because my mail goes to like a box away from my townhome. But my 7-Eleven ladies, I love them. I go in there, I know their names. I'm a regular there. I'm not a regular anywhere else. Well, maybe Dolphin Bar. Maybe, what is that called? Hideaway?
Yes.
Yeah, Hideaway Bar. They know me. But those two places are about it. But it's kind of cool. I kind of felt like I'd become an adult because I'm a regular. Because I think that's an older guy's thing, and I actually take great pride in the fact that my 7-Eleven ladies, we greet each other.
That's the 7-Eleven across from the Yang store.
No.
On Corinne?
The one at Corinne is across from Red Light, or Park Ave CDs, or P is for Pie.
Yeah.
It's right next to the little dog grooming shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's across from the Yang store.
All right, what's the Yang store?
It's the...
Don't do that with your eyes. This is the internet, but we still have things. The internet will get you, Jim. Don't do your eyes.
I refer to it as the Yang store. That's all.
I'll do it. I don't care.
If Jim does it, we all can do it.
Look, I don't think.
Get in here.
Sorry.
Big old rating
if Mickey Rooney can do it in Breakfast at Tiffany's, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
Exactly.
And he was the landlord. He was the most racist thing you've ever seen. You'll need to pay rent. You'll pay rent.
Here's the thing. This guy.
Don't do that.
This guy, he needs to email my wife because literally I want to talk to everybody and tell them my stories, and my wife constantly tells me don't talk to that guy, you're wasting his time. So I see the mailman, I know he's a listener.
Well, he says you run from him.
No, but my wife is because I'll sit there and tell him a story, and then my wife's he's trying to work. It's the same thing with people that do work over my house. I stand behind them and I tell them stories.
Well, pause for 1 second. Jim, where do you stand if somebody comes to your house to work? Let's say they're doing some
repairs,
a little carpentry. Do you?
But
do you do like
listener.
Tom does and hover over their shoulder?
No. It's so uncomfortable, right?
But what if you know they were a listener? Are they a fan of yours?
Well, that probably makes it worse.
No. It's hi, nice to meet you. And then, I don't want to be anywhere near them. I don't want to interfere with them.
Yeah, me neither. I do this move. I usually go, hey, if you need me, I'll be upstairs. I'll be riding the
exactly
Peloton.
What I do. Just knock, yell, whatever you want to do.
See, I'm convinced they love it, and they're like, Tom talked to me for an hour straight and told me stories.
You're wrong. They hate it.
The mailman wants me to talk to him, and my wife's like, get inside before you talk to him.
Every once in a while, I'll walk out. How's it going?
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm back here.
Just a pleasantry.
No, you're wrong. He doesn't want you to hover over him. He just doesn't want you to run from him.
No, listen, just you wait. Next time, I'm going to wait there and see him walking.
Oh, my God.
our mailbox is on next to the door. It's not by the street.
You got the walk-in mailman.
I got the walk-in mailman, so he has to park his car and walk.
Carry the bag.
By the way, that's a tell that you're a nicer neighborhood. He's got the walk-in
Not
mailman.
necessarily.
Jim, do you got the walk-in mailman?
Bad neighborhood.
Me and Jim got the walk-in mailman.
Also, older homes have that too.
Yeah, I don't
me and Jim got the walk-in mailman. Your mailman delivers in a car.
I got a mail lady, and she
drives by the car. They put to the side.
Your mailman takes stuff to your front door, or just put it in the box.
He's a listener. Sometimes
it's hard to get to the front
write
door
me
with all
notes
the
on my
cat
bills.
shit everywhere. All the kids' toys and cat shit everywhere.
My neighborhood is in the midst of getting gentrified, so it's
gentrified.
He usually puts the packages in the rusted car, and then any mail that he has, he opens the door, puts it under the visor. In the
some of my neighbors got some bars on the windows, but it's decorative bars. It's not the real bad ones.
Yeah, the swirlies. When you got the swirlies on the wrought iron, then it's nicer. I feel.
Oh yeah, and it's in 10 or 20 years, it'll be known as the nice part of town.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not.
He
really.
claims he lives in Maitland, but he really lives in Castleberry.
Yeah, the Winter Park's so close. I can see. I drive by it. I smell.
I smell money.
I smell money. Not Thornton Park though.
All right, next voicemail.
Oh, a little voicemail. All right, hold on. I got him here. I pulled him up and then I put him away. Give me 1 second. We'll do. How about this one?
Yo guys, BDM Neil over here, listening to the BDM show from right before the BDM meetup on Saturday, and you guys are talking about corkscrew penises with dolphins, and I was at SeaWorld the other day with my daughters and everything, and we went down below because there's the viewpoint below to see the dolphins and everything. And I noticed this one dolphin. This one dolphin was hunching, and I was like, why is this dolphin hunching? It hunched up, then it straightened back out, and his corkscrew cock was out. And he was just swimming around fast as hell.
We don't
I have a
need
video.
Jim
I'll get it from my
this.
wife, and I'll send it over to you guys, too. But
We
it was
don't want the
fast
video.
as hell. And he just had his cock out, just swimming, corkscrew everywhere, and it was just hilarious.
Getting really excited.
Yeah, he is.
Oh
He's
my
breathing
god!
heavy.
He was walking away. It's hilarious. But love y'all. Peace.
Okay.
I didn't know dolphins could swim with their penis out.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Well,
I can.
I don't think I can.
It was like a rudder. You just, just get you a little bit better.
Bank to the
left. A little bit better glide.
I'm at the point now, and Jim, I didn't.
Where you want to buy a?
What do you want?
Buy a dolphin for your pool?
Well, I didn't circumcise my son.
You gonna bring this up in front of Jim?
Well,
Yeah,
I'll tell you because I talked once I started realizing why as Americans we circumcised boys. I started railing against it on the show. Even before that, it was like the guy that owned and started Kellogg's cereal went on this crazy marketing campaign to shame people for masturbating, and was telling people to circumcise their kids to keep them from masturbating. It's closer to the Lord, it's a bizarre history of it. Anyway, long story short, I was like, I'm not gonna cut my son's penis skin off. This foreskin seems stupid. I didn't do it. But now I'm at the point where my sons are asking questions that I don't know how to answer. And
like what?
Well, just why don't I have this? And I went on this long explanation. Me and Tommy talking on the phone.
Are you on the phone? Are you in the car? I'm in the car.
Because he's like,
why do you have
he's like,
no
Daddy,
skin on
why
your
don't, he's like, why
pee-pee?
don't you have to pull yours back? And why isn't yours
just tell him the truth.
purple? I did, but then.
Why isn't yours purple? What color is yours? What do you have going on?
What, mine?
Yeah. Tan leather.
Yeah, my
leather.
Desensitized tan leather because it's been out.
It looks like an old baseball mitt.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Yes, yeah.
Men who have been circumcised are more prone to violence than men who have not been circumcised.
Really?
Because I think men who have been circumcised in their infancy were traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
And they've internalized that somehow. It can't be. I don't care. You're 2 days old, whatever the heck it is.
That's a sensitive
They
area.
strap you to something.
Exactly. And
it's pretty barbaric.
Generally speaking, I really do believe that. However, I might add, that a circumcised penis is a hell of a lot better looking than an uncircumcised penis.
I'm with you.
There's no question about that.
Yeah,
and I never saw one until I was in military school in high school.
Right.
And I had guys from South America, and they weren't circumcised. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I never. It was like, to me, it was a deformity.
Yeah. That's too silly. See my son's penis. I'm like, ew.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know, Jim. Listen,
you got to get skin. You got to do that
add
thing.
the skin.
We talked to this guy
Can you
a while
pull
ago.
your Daisy Dukes down? Because I'm pretty sure one of your balls is about to fall out. Jesus Christ. He's getting excited and jumping around in his seat, and it keeps pulling his shorts.
Can you write that in your
So what do you, do you wait
notebook,
until a decision you make when you're of age? Or I know an adult who got it circumcised, and it was according to
well, you
him,
can do that. You can do it
horrific.
reverse. There's a guy that we talked to him about a couple years ago when we first got in the studio, where this guy has invented this thing that sits on a circumcised penis, and it will stretch the remaining skin down over it, so you can be like your sons.
What?
Remember, we talked to that guy.
Tugger, wasn't it? Or something?
Tugger.
Oh, you're
I'm not
right.
doing that.
I forgot about that.
Oh, you could probably do that on your own with string and a brick.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
It's like a string and a brick scenario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
you need to do that every night. You use your tugger.
So what do you? I mean,
I told him, I was like, well, Daddy, when Daddy was born, there used to be a thing back in the day. You'd cut the skin. And they're like, why would you? He's asking why. I'm like,
you say I don't know.
Yeah,
it was just something people did, and now I decided not to do it to you.
And then they're like, I don't want.
Or you could use this to your advantage. You could be like, well, Daddy didn't eat all his vegetables.
The problem is,
so they cut part of his penis off as retribution.
Here's the thing.
Start the new lie tradition.
All these forward-thinking people, they were like, don't circumcise your kid, and I agreed with it. They didn't tell me the part of what the penis head looks like when you don't circumcise, because it's more sensitive, and it's a different color. The first time my sons showed me, I was like, no! And then it freaked them out. And now they know it, because I didn't know what to expect, because I'd never dealt with it. And so I am having a hard time with it.
I wonder in countries where men are not circumcised, generally speaking, whether and if a female in that country saw a penis that was circumcised, would they find that hideous?
They probably would. They would be like, what the heck?
What about you, Butler? You're from England. Yeah. Most people aren't circumcised.
Correct.
So, growing up, were you in the shower? I'm uncircumcised too, but that's because I was a preemie, and my penis was too small at birth. If they'd circumcised, they'd probably lop the whole thing off. So it's probably a good thing they didn't, because I was so small, you hold me in the palm of your hand, So it was important. And my dad wasn't circumcised either. I don't know why it's weird.
It's a weird thing for him from being from Virginia.
I think a lot of southern states, back in the day, didn't do it.
Really?
Yeah, both my brothers aren't.
Really?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So Butler, growing up, did you ever see you're taking a shower in gym class? You see a kid that was circumcised, maybe an expat or somebody over there. Like what?
No. Well, I immigrated over here when I was 4 years old, so I don't recall seeing anything. All my friends in the United States, they were all circumcised when I was younger.
Weird.
Yeah, I was the odd one out.
There seems no rhyme or reason to it now, right?
Yeah.
It almost just seems...
That doesn't. I mean, it's real. I mean, it's got to be traumatizing somehow.
Yeah.
You think?
When I found out how you did it,
you're just 2 days old. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. They have to.
I mean, it hurts, but
I mean,
I think what people justify it is they won't remember it. Not that it won't hurt, but just kind of like when people get their baby's ears pierced, it still hurts, but they're like, oh.
Yeah, but it's somewhere down
I
deep
agree.
in there.
I think it is as well.
Yeah, of course. And then, I mean, shit, I remember when Ross told me, his first son, they thought, he was like, oh, okay, everybody circumcised a kid. And then when he told us about, and he went through the process.
And it traumatized him, too.
They strapped him to this board as a infant, and they're cutting the penis.
It sounds like medieval shit.
Yeah. It's like putting leeches on you because you had some sort of the flu.
Well, that works though.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Let's do another email.
All right,
one more email, one more voicemail, and then we'll.
Then we'll call it a day.
My dad had an 8-foot satellite in the backyard. 20 years after
I'm glad you said my dad had an 8-foot satellite in the backyard. I thought that was going someplace else.
20 years after he quit using it, someone came and bought the dish off the pole for scrap, I assume. To this day, he hangs bird feeders off of it and tries to shoot squirrels that steal the bird feed.
That is so redneck. I love it.
With the pellet gun that he keeps beside the back door. We don't have swamp people in Delaware, but we have rednecks, and those are my people. Love the show. The single funniest part of the show is Dan singing as Tom. Kiss from a Rose almost made me run off the highway. Hi to Sam, Tom, and Butler.
All right.
We had talked
Jim,
about having the giant satellites.
Did you ever have the satellite dish?
Oh, yeah.
The big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
The giant one.
And at the time, it was the way, because like cable's out, but it was not out to everybody. Like, why did
Well, it was expensive to some people back in the day.
What
too.
was
it was just a way, we didn't have cable.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
the only way. But, you have a remote control, but it would take for, to change a channel.
Right.
Because the dish would have to
move,
rotate to another satellite or but it was huge. I mean, it was a big...
My grandparents
you had the big 10-foot one in your backyard?
Yeah, it was like a big radar thing. I mean...
Did you have the dial that would let you know which way to turn it, and you'd mark the channels?
I
My
can't
grandparents
remember
had
how...
it.
All I remember is it had to actually move and rotate. And,
Yeah. They had this thing where you would turn it, and then you could hear it. It would go like... Kicking, kicking, kicking,
yeah.
kicking. And if you looked outside, you'd see it going, and it'd be like, well, I dialed it to, like, let's say, get Fox. I want to watch, like, The Simpsons or something. And he would have to, like, kicking, 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 kicking. Like you're moving artillery to shoot up. Like, it was kind of scary.
It was
very loud. You couldn't do it at night. I'd wake up my parents if I snuck in there to watch TV.
It seems like an insanely expensive item, too, was it?
It was very expensive.
Like have a satellite dish? Like what are we talking here? Like 10 grand for them to come and install it?
Part of a promotion.
Oh, sure.
That's awesome. Like some satellite company was
like
promoting.
something you see over at the Cape.
Yeah. It's like news stations have on the roof still.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's me and Daniel have been obsessed with like old technology that at one time was like super expensive, like intercoms in people's houses.
Oh, yeah.
Like my grandma had an intercom, and like the intercom
in the bedroom
system,
you'd have the main that would have on the bottom. It would have like a radio analog where you could run music throughout the house. Never worked. Then you'd have it was the big one, and it was the master one, so the other rooms could communicate with like the bedroom or the kitchen, and you'd hold the button down and you could dial it in, and like talk to people like dinner's ready, like. But I don't know anybody that ever used it. It never worked.
Technology is the worst when it comes to it's super expensive when it first comes out, and then literally like a satellite dish worth scrap metal. Like it doesn't hold at all. My buddy Logic Man, he bought like one of the first plasma TVs, like a 50-inch, and he paid like $4,500 for it, like in like early 2000s or whatever, and like $4,500 for a 50-inch plasma, and like I think he's still making monthly payments on it. Like, that bad, like, and he won't get rid of it. I'm like, dude, you could buy a 4K LED
I mean, it's got to be
nothing.
It's got to be reaching the end of its lifetime too.
You can put off some heat too.
You can get a 65-inch 4K at Walmart for $380. It's nothing. It's like this TV is worth $0. You couldn't even give it away on Craigslist.
Like I saw a lady at Best Buy. I went in there to get a phone case. I saw a lady in Best Buy, just to show you how cheap TVs are, who was buying two 65-inch TVs for her kids. Like she had them on a thing.
Oh my God!
It wasn't that expensive. They weren't like ultra 4K. They weren't like you're not dealing with top of the line Samsung or Sony or anything like that. But
Did you even have a TV in your room when you were a kid?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
I was no
fucking crazy. And they all have TVs in the rooms, iPads. My God, damn
well,
it,
everybody's
these
got
kids
a car
are
now.
spoiled.
Every kid's got a car. Well, did you have a car when you were in high
a lot of them
school?
aren't driving it now. They all just Uber and Lyft everywhere.
I had to build mine with my dad.
Well,
At 82 Rabbit, we had to put it back together.
Here's the thing. The new thing is the kids don't even want to. They don't even want a car because Uber. Like we talked to a kid that was like 19 or whatever. He's like, I don't got my driver's license yet. He's like, I just Uber everywhere. He's like, I don't want to pay for the car payment, the insurance. All he's like, it's cheaper.
They're not
to
even
Uber.
learning how to drive, Jim.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter to them. And I'm like, what? And like because when I was 16, I got my dad's
Uber
truck.
home? Are you talking about the kid we came in here?
Yeah.
Like, what's his name?
Robert.
Yeah. And then I'm like, where's your car, buddy? He's like, no, I'm just Ubering home, calling an Uber, and he just gets in an Uber and drives away.
And it is cheaper because you don't have to pay for all the shit.
Insurance,
and
gas, like none of that. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's safer. I don't think I'd be putting my daughter in an Uber.
Dude, well, here's the thing.
You can't say, of course it is. Your Uber driver might be a shitty driver.
That's what I'm saying.
When I was 16, there was no other way to like get around. Like there was no Uber or whatever. So when you go to parties or whatever, like listen, I'm not proud of it, but when I was in high school, I was driving drunk and shit because what are you gonna call an $80 taxi?
Plus less experienced driver at 16, 17.
Of course, yeah. So
kids are going to parties now and they're taking an Uber to a party?
Yeah.
Well, that is safer. Because they're probably
for sure.
I guess if you're a parent, you're going, I'd rather have them do that than get behind the wheel.
Yeah, because think about it, like even
stupid shitty driver.
I mean, my stepdad told me like when he was in high school and everybody was driving drunk. It wasn't like there was no other way to drive. It was like everybody on the street after 11 o'clock was drunk. Like he's like it was insanity. And then that's how you lived. And like now, of course, it's better, but. If you don't have to drive, of course.
Thank you to Jesus Peace for the bits.
It does depend where you live, though. Because when I went, I stayed out in Candler in the mountains in Asheville. They no Uber left.
No Uber.
They will not drive up the mountains.
Yeah.
One more voicemail and get out of here. All right. Here's our last one of the day.
Hey everybody. So thanks to you guys. I listen to Dan Cummins' podcast a lot, Time Suck, and he talks a lot about serial killers. And one common thing with these serial killers, especially nowadays, is the reason that they didn't get caught before they killed a bunch of people is because the police failed to investigate or even file a report when something crazy was reported. And so, I feel like we see a lot of that. Mm-hmm. There's some really great cops out there. There's cops who maybe kind of always follow protocol and know that you should always, look into shit because, hey, this guy could be fucking nuts. He could be like the next Charles Manson. You got to look into it. So anyhow, over here in Tampa, my mother, she's been, just randomly getting calls from some guy doing like the old school, like heavy breathing, spanking into the phone sort of thing, and he's sending like wang pics and stuff. So she goes to the police like 3 times, and I just heard about this today, right? So like, I don't know what to do because, like, she tells me she went to the police 3 times and they never filed a report. They just showed her how to block the number, but the call still kept coming through. You know how it is. Grandma with her crappy Android phone. But anyway, so this guy keeps sending these pictures. And so she goes to the police today, and the officer takes the phone and he calls the guy and he goes, "Hey, this is my new phone. Why are you sending me pictures of your penis, dude? I'm a guy. I don't want to see that." And so he hangs up and he gives the phone back to my mom and he says, "If the guy tries to text you again, just pretend to be a dude and he'll probably leave you alone. And if he doesn't, come back. Let us know." And so that was the end of that.
I like that cop.
And you got a cop doing some role playing, and that was just the end of it. So I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that. Thanks, love the show.
I feel like that's grade A detective work.
Well, listen.
Hey, what are you doing? It's a new phone.
Could you hold on?
Problem solved.
Way to go.
There are a million stories on the Naked City, and this is just one of them.
Exactly. Tough day on the beat today. Had to pretend to be a dude who's getting dick pics on his Android phone.
I'm going to defend police here for a second. Usually I don't, but they get a lot of bullshit. Like they have to imagine the.
We have a lot of cops that listen to us, like listeners that are police officers, and then they tell us some of the stories of the stuff they have to deal with. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you graduate from the police academy. You think you're gonna, go after all people who are seriously bad.
You're saving people.
And all of a sudden, you go, what do you want me to do?
It's
what the fuck is wrong with your phone? The lady, when he called you, get a whistle. Just blow a whistle into the. What are you doing? What are you doing to me?
Yeah. It's every paranoid old lady.
This is a gold shield. I'm a detective. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Come on, really? Every old lady's looking out the window. There is a black gentleman walking down the sidewalk, and he looks suspicious. Like you're like, oh my god, everything is some bullshit report. Like people are calling because they didn't get their chicken McNuggies at the drive-thru. They're wasting your time. Like I called the cops one time because my house was broken into, and the cops came over. They're like, oh, what was taken? I'm like, these video games, some of my wife's jewelry. They're like, okay, we're gonna dust for prison. Oh, well,
wait, didn't your porno tape get stolen?
We think it did. And then
he made a homemade porno with his wife.
Yeah.
Stolen?
It's out there somewhere.
It's out there, Jim.
It's going to be a prize in a bingo game someplace.
I'm hoping that they can't
I got this
transfer
unmarked porno. If anybody, bingo!
Here you are.
Yours, Mabel.
It was before digital cameras were out, so it was on an old
mini
cassette.
DVD.
Guess what? They'll figure it out.
I know, but it's
Super 8.
It
so
seems like
many heat bumps on his butt.
most of the shit they deal with is bullshit, right? I couldn't imagine being a cop.
Well, Joe, our firefighter buddy.
Oh yeah, he's never putting out fires.
I don't think I've ever heard him talk about fighting a fire. All he talks about
he's like Narcanning bums.
Yeah, he's usually Narcanning bums.
Yeah, well, that's what firefighters do. I mean, that's the name of the game now.
You Narcan bums, you Narcan some other people.
Narcan everybody.
You're Narcanning everybody.
Narcan myself because I'm bored.
Every once in a while, someone pulls off the side of the road and the heat from their engine sets the grass on fire.
You got that odd man out firefighter, lights a fire someplace. I gotta fight a fire. I gotta fight a fire. I gotta put the helmet on. I gotta put the coat, the boots.
It's all paranoid.
I gotta slide down the pole.
It's a paranoid old lady, Narcans and bums.
That's true, though. I mean, they're paramedics for the most part.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
hey,
Mr.
thank
Phillips,
you so much for sitting in, man.
Yeah.
So much fun today.
Somebody canceled today. Sinbad.
No. Sinbad.
Was he in here?
Yeah.
Oh, was he? I knew he was in town.
Like a month ago or so.
Yeah.
Told us very nice.
He used to go to private where they'd sell planes and pretend to be like a sheik and with a bunch of money and get him to fly him around and like go out to
like
dinner.
A test drive.
Like the sales guy for like the Learjet would fly him around and just scam. Like apparently you wanted to be a professional scam artist.
I don't know what his game is. I mean, 25 years ago he was really at the top of it. He had a comedy special. I laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
He was Sinbad. What are you laughing at? It was funny.
He's
a funny guy.
He's still super funny and was really, really nice.
Very nice, yeah.
It looks like he's taking care. You know, he's really into that was weird tech. He's really he knew
more about tech than I did.
Everything I have.
No
in here.
kidding.
He's like, I know what that is. I know what that is. He's like, oh, I got 2 of those. He's like, how do you like your Stream Deck for the cameras? I was like, whoa, all right, and he's
so Ed Norton, the actor. He's a big techie guy.
Really? Yeah.
Gigantic techie guy.
I think it's smart to stay on top of that stuff. Yeah. But I'm kind of...
I'm clueless.
I'm noticing myself slipping a little bit. I'm slipping a little bit.
I don't know nothing.
You and Jim are going to be playing banjos.
That's what I want.
The crows.
I don't want to do nothing. I'm like, Jim, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be by myself.
I just sit in the chair and yell at the TV.
For me, it's gambling.
I want to play my banjo. I want to drink a little bit. I want to yell at my son's penis for being gross. Get right? That's all you want.
Just some gambling.
Yeah. Anything to plug before we get out of here?
Porky's Barbecue tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. Make sure you get out there.
Yep, you can do that. Jim, do you have anything to plug?
Nope, not at all.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
isn't that great to not have
fantastic.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want nothing to plug.
Nothing to plug is pretty awesome.
Tom, you got anything? Nothing at all. Nothing forever.
In fact, I'm looking for things. I'm looking for fun things to do.
Yeah.
Butler?
Fun things to do. Thornton Park Halloween party tomorrow night. They got it's from 8 to 2 a.m. $20, $60 tickets. That includes a lot of shit. You have DJs out there, Cirque du Soleil themed crowd performers, stilt walkers, all kinds of crazy stuff. Food trucks.
Yeah, huge cash prizes for costume contests. And I was literally telling one of our BDMs, they're like, I'm going to be downtown. Anything? I'm like, dude, go to the Thornton Park Halloween because
it'll be nicer.
Here's the thing: it's not going to be a bunch of frat boys. It'll be
it's a bunch of of rich women. Isn't that what you said?
No, this is nice. We had these ladies in from Thornton Park. They're like on the board and everything, and they sit down, and Tom's like, "Oh, so you guys are the rich lady?"
No, I didn't say that.
They are so insulted.
I'm just saying, people our age, they got kids. You know, you're not going to go downtown to Church Street with a bunch of frat boys.
That ship has sailed for me. I'm out of that.
So I'm just saying, it's a more of an upscale Halloween party. That's what I would like.
Yeah, they're really nice, and the setup that they have is going to be phenomenal. So look forward to that. What else?
One more thing, we got. It's actually not this weekend. It's next Tuesday. So my buddies over at Buster's Bistro. They have an awesome
I love
event.
Buster's Bistro.
They have a breast cancer awareness with delirium event. It starts at 5 o'clock. You're going to have Bravo Barfoot, my buddy. He's actually the delirium rep. He's going to be selling out. He has a great deal with delirium, deliria, passion fruit delirium, all these different varieties from delirium.
Is that any good?
They are fantastic. They're all 8% or higher beers. They're phenomenal. Every deliria you actually get a free glassware, delirium glassware, and $1 goes towards breast cancer awareness from delirium.
Great.
So it's a really great cause. Highly recommend that. That's next Tuesday.
Awesome.
So I think that's it. Jim, thanks again for coming.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys.
Yep.
If you want to listen to Semantics tonight, we're recording with Butler and Juan from the Twitch chat.
Yeah,
so
and also you can sign up to join Samantha's Patreon. You get extra shows that go completely off the rails. They're really, really fun. And where can people find that, Samantha?
Patreon.com/semantics.
Yeah, you throw her a couple bucks, join up, and you get some really, really clever and cool special shows.
Thank you to BMs, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.
And now it's time for the Tom and Dan end of the show footnotes. Today you heard music from
Wildlife. Indie rock from Toronto, Canada. If you like Modest Mouse or Arcade Fire, then more than likely you'll dig these guys. You heard the song No Control from their brand new Take the Light With You album. Have you heard of Sun Little? Yeah, I hadn't either. But dare I say that I'm more than just a little impressed. Impeccable crafted songs that are soulful and they're honest. And from his new Invisible EP, you heard the song Hey Rose. And yep, you guessed it, this is my pick of the week. Next up was funky Nashville tunes from a band named Half Noise. They just released their newest full-length entitled Natural Disguise. You heard the track Boogie Juice, and yeah, it's just that, a whole lot of boogie. I love it, and a fun fact, this is the drummer of Paramore's band. I closed out the show with new and live music from the legends that are known as Face to Face. They have a new album out entitled Live in a Dive. If you're a fan, you're going to love it because it's really well recorded. It's a great live album. On that note, have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.